What's up, Marvel fans? It's Shibuya Gato here, part of MCUnhinged, MCUnhinged, what? I don't know. So, if you listen to us, you know our usual gimmick, watching the MCU in order, talking about it, going over the movies. We're not doing that this week. It's the mix-up. We're hitting you with the mix-up you should have been guarding. San Diego Comic-Con just happened, and obviously Marvel shows up, they drop 75 new announcements, and then they leave. So, we're here as people who talk about the MCU to talk about the MCU, but out of order this time, about the new stuff and the future stuff.
Yeah. That's exciting.
I am joined by Shawn, AFK.
Yo, hi. I'm so excited.
And we are not joined this week by Tyler Tylerms, our usual host, due to some technical difficulties. So, unfortunately, Avengers is getting pushed back, but you're still getting an episode, and we, as fans, are getting a hell of a lot of content.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So I think we'll probably start with the animation panel, because I think that's what nobody cares about except for me. And we're gonna do what Marvel usually does and just like build up to the hype shit. Exactly.
We're gonna do our setup and then we're gonna do our payoff at the end.
So, in terms of the animation panel, I don't know. So they started off with I Am Groot. Did you watch the trailer, Shibuya, for I Am Groot?
I did not.
Okay, there's a trailer for I Am Groot. It's Groot. Groot is around and he's being cute.
He is Groot. What can we say?
That's it. 5 shorts debuting August 10th, and the announcement, I guess, at Comic-Con, besides the trailer, was 5 more coming at a later date. So I Am Groot Season 2, I guess, confirmed.
I Am Groot 2. He's still Groot. Let's go.
2 Groot, 2 Grootius.
2 Groot, 2 Furious. We're gonna do the fast naming scheme, but only for Groot.
Moving on to something that nobody cares about, to something that a small amount of people care about. What If Season 2 is releasing in early 2023? They did give us some episode ideas. In terms of ones that were kind of obvious, Captain Carter meeting the Winter Soldier. We had been told that was going to happen, that they were going to be continuing the Captain Carter episode from season 1 in season 2. Tony on Sakaar with Valkyrie and Hulk, which is an episode that I believe was cut from season 1 for time and put into season 2. But the character from this episode still appears in the finale of season 1. Like, when the multiverse Avengers come together or whatever, that fucking character's there, but their episode just isn't in the season because of time. Because originally it was going to be 2 seasons of 10 episodes, and then just for COVID stuff, they didn't have time. They bumped the first season down to 9, and they bumped the second season down to 9 to match it. But,
I don't know, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, but we're finally going to find out about that character that just showed up at the end of What If and had zero lore explanation for.
Hey, what if there was backstory for that character?
Boom.
Your move, Marvel. Just kidding, they did it. They're doing it.
Boom.
It's happening.
Some more interesting ideas. They said there's going to be a Hela episode, which I'm totally down for. Love Hela.
Yeah, very excited to see more Hela, just generally.
And I think probably the most exciting thing that they talked about is an Odin versus the Mandarin episode. Like, I can't even begin to imagine what that would be like.
Yeah, like, we never see Odin fight in the proper MCU, aside from, like, one scene in Thor, and that was kind of it.
Do you think he's gonna beat the Mandarin by being like, I cussed you out? He's just gonna scream. What does he say? You're a cruel boy. And I can't remember what he says to Thor.
I'm trying to remember, because it was such a funny read.
I'm sure Tyler can insert it into the episode after the fact or something.
Yeah.
I think he has all of Odin's quotes on his soundboard, so, you know.
That would not shock me.
Would not shock me at all. And they announced What If Season 3 is in the works. I care about that. Nobody else does. You're
really giving Tyler ammo for
I
this
really
one.
am. He's gonna play like the Kitchen Nightmares noise behind all this. Like, I'm being sus, dude. Like,
he just adds like the fucking RuPaul drama noise to like What If fandom be like,
What's up, motherfuckers? You thought I wasn't gonna show up here, but I am. I'm here, coming to you live from the beach. Just kidding. I don't have internet, so I don't know. I still gotta edit this fucking thing though. So here I am, giving my 2 cents on every topic they cover. First off, let's talk about Groot. Groot's cute. He's been doing that for a minute now. I'm kind of over it. I mean, how many times can one guy say I am Groot, and I'm supposed to like laugh or whatever, or be sad or happy? I don't know. Maybe I'm devoid of happiness. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I'm not gonna watch this show. But you know, I'm glad they're making it. People love Groot. I sort of like the original Groot because, as you know, baby new Groot is not the same Groot as Guardians 1 Groot. They're different Groots. I like big Groot. I like big tall Groot, you know. I think he's cool. I want to see more of him. I'm kind of tired of baby Groot. And I was okay with like teenage Groot, but I want like, you know, I want Groot. Either way, yeah, especially after playing the Guardians video game. I really like Big Groot there as well. Also, let's see, What If Season 2? You know good and damn well that I am not watching What If Season 2. They tricked me with Season 1 because I thought it was going to be good. No, I'm not watching it. I don't care about the Hela episode. I don't care about fucking Captain Carter being the Winter Soldier. Who's even her Winter Soldier? Is it still Bucky? Didn't she save Bucky? Is it Steve? Is Steve the new Winter Soldier in his fucking Hydra Smasher? Fuck you, Captain Carter. All right. Anyways, get back to the other guys.
Another thing that I care about that I don't know how many people are really going to care about is X-Men 97. I love the 90s animated X-Men show.
Bro, we got more X-Men. We did it.
We did it.
We finally did it.
I will say, I'm a little frustrated. Not frustrated. I understand why. I'm salty that it's not X-Men Evolution that's coming back because it is the best X-Men piece of X-Men media. But I will take the 90s show coming back because I still love it.
I mean, X-Men 90s show theme song banger.
It
so
is.
like, you have to at least respect it, even if it's not your favorite.
And oh boy, is the MCU getting mileage out of that theme song. That's all I'll say. That's all.
Yep.
They're using it.
Please look forward to 5 years from now when we hit that movie where it's relevant.
Yeah. They did tell us this is going to be streaming fall 2023, which is a little bit further away than I had hoped.
Even so, it's happening, which is very good confirmation.
It happening at all is great. Give me 1 second. Okay. It happening is, I mean, look, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, you know? They said season 2 is greenlit, so we're going to get more of that. They showed us the first look at the team. Did you see any of the images from it, Shibuya?
I did not see the images, but I see Sunspot, and I start clapping, because this means future developments keep winning for me.
I can send you just like, there was a couple of screenshots, but I'll send you one of them, just so you can kind of look at it, just so you can get a feel for the art style they're going for.
Oh yeah, that really is like just maintaining 90s, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy looking, to be honest.
I'm stunned that they're like barely doing any redesigns.
Yeah, all the costumes look pretty much the same. The art style for the characters is very interesting.
Even like down to the shading, it's very faithful to the original.
Yeah. So that's very exciting. They showed a bunch of images. They showed like Mr. Sinister and Emma Frost and Magneto in his new suit. He's going to be leading the X-Men when we pick up, because I believe at the end of the X-Men 90 series, Xavier was gone. But you can see that little image of Magneto looking like a total Chad.
Holy shit.
I know, right?
Wow.
Magneto looks awesome. He's the leader of the X-Men in the show. Fucking Morph is alive again, which if anybody does not know and did not watch the X-Men 90 series, Morph dies in like episode 2. But he's back. Morph, I
only ever caught reruns as a kid. This really?
Yeah, Morph like dies episode 2. He dies like really early on. I just watched it. And I was looking at the pictures. I was like, yo, Magneto looks dope. The team looks, is that fucking Morph? Like,
yeah, in the notes, it has like bullet points. First look at the team, new additions. It lists everybody. And then there's a bullet under where it lists everybody going, is that fucking Morph?
Because I was
All
surprised.
caps. It's so funny. Hold on, Tyler. I need to put a screenshot of this in Discord for you to throw up on screen.
I did it. I didn't. I was like, Morph is dead. What's Morph doing here? But I'm down with it.
Morph meme where he's texting from the hospital bed like, I live, bitch.
Well, it's funny because nobody cares about Morph. That's why they killed him in the second episode. Nobody has ever picked up an X-Men comic like, my favorite X-Men character is Morph.
There's one person.
God, maybe.
And you just offended that
probably.
person. Congratulations.
I'm so sorry.
Way to alienate our fan base.
I'm so sorry that you like Morph, but you know, I'm happy that he's back. I don't know what they're gonna be doing with that, but I will eat it all up. The next going of varying degrees of interestingness, Marvel Zombies, which we knew was coming, that had been announced last year. It's going to release in 2024 on Disney Plus. A ton of Phase 4 characters are going to be involved in this. And I did read in an interview after the fact, this isn't in the notes, but this is continuing from the same universe as the Marvel Zombies episode of What If. This isn't just like, we're going to take that concept and do a whole show now. It is picking up where that episode ended off.
Okay, good. Yeah, because you already make the connection in your brain when you remember that episode exists. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad they're officially just stating, yes, that's canon to this. Yeah. This is canon to that.
They showed some zombie versions of characters like Ghost, Abomination, Captain Marvel, Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, Okoye, and Captain America. They showed Icarus from the Eternals as a zombie. And they showed that the hero lineup is going to be people like Jimmy Woo, Kate Bishop, Yelena, Shang-Chi, and Miss Marvel. So really big Phase 4 focus.
Yeah, this is the Phase 4 squad, more or less.
Which I'm down for. I mean, really, let's be real. This is probably the first time we're going to see characters like Shang-Chi and Miss Marvel interact. Like,
yeah.
I don't know where
Plus,
else.
I always love seeing more Kate Bishop and Yelena.
Yes.
I love them.
I hope they get Haley Steinfeld, and I don't see why they wouldn't, but Florence Pugh.
I feel like given their contracts, there's a decent chance that they might come back to voice.
Mm-hmm. But I think the interesting part of this show isn't really any of this. It's that they confirmed it's going to be rated TVMA on Disney Plus, which is kind of wild.
It's a little insane, considering when Disney Plus first launched. I remember them going back to censor old movies from the 80s and just the most atrocious fucking ways.
Yeah.
So, kind of a big deal. Interesting to see. I'm curious just how far they'll lean into that rating.
I guess this wasn't as surprising. If this panel had happened a couple days earlier, this would have been very surprising, but I think this happened the same day that Deadpool went on Disney Plus. So like, it was like, yeah. But what's surprising about it is that they're going to be producing new original content rated TVMA, not just putting previously existing content that happens to be rated at a higher rating.
Yeah, not only that, but like Deadpool, like tonally Deadpool's is going to be very different to Marvel Zombies TVMA.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be dropping...
the reasons for those ratings will be entirely different.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be dropping F-bombs every 5
I don't
seconds.
think TJ Miller's going to get to quip in Marvel Zombies, dude.
I don't think TJ Miller's going to get to quip in anything ever again.
Good.
I hope not, at least.
Yeah, that's the dream.
But they said it's going to be violent and it's going to be kind of gruesome, and I'm excited for that. I'm
zombie heads stay winning, I guess.
I guess I'm interested to see where this will lead, if this will carry over to like I almost feel like if they're willing to do TVMA for their animated stuff, they have to be willing for live action, right? Because I feel like there's more of a stigma against doing that in animation, because animation is perceived very largely, at least in the Western world, as like for children.
A bit, and Disney especially have been like kind of the pioneers of that stigma.
Yeah, they're pretty much the reason for it.
So it'll be interesting to see how this affects future Marvel stuff, potentially, how this affects future potential Disney Plus shows from Marvel, and It's doubtful that it'll carry over to any of the films, because I think those have to remain like PG-13 max, so people can keep bringing their kids to go see them and be able to justify it.
And really, that's also not even like, I mean, like if you look at Multiverse of Madness, they really push the envelope there in terms of violence. And I don't think the PG-13 rating on movies is as much of a sensibilities thing as it would seem. It's just PG-13 movies tend to make more money. And that is what Marvel is in the business of, is making these movies that make a ton of money. They're not, I mean, I guess we'll see if that changes now, if they ever reach out and they do a Joker, right, where they spend a little bit of money to make something that will perform well, you know, but not as well as a PG-13 movie. Although Joker obviously is an exception, because I think that movie did very well. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember that movie doing like phenomenally, especially for an R rating at the box office that season.
Most are like an exception to the rule with R-rated movies. R-rated movies, if they're making a lot, it's usually because the budget was pretty low.
Okay, X-Men 97. I think that's pretty cool. I was happy to see Morph. He's not my favorite. I'm not that one guy. I was happy to see Bishop, Cable, fucking Forge, you know, all classic X-Men characters. But you know, I never really watched the 90s cartoon from start to finish, you know, like linearly, I guess. And I don't think I'm gonna watch X-Men 97 until like season 1 is done, like, because I mean, there's a lot of catching up to do. And I'm with Shawn. X-Men Evolution, probably the best thing to come out of X-Men ever. Aside from X3, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch, because it's really funny. And then Marvel Zombies, I'm fucking sleep. I thought the Zombies episode was one of the weakest. Well, no, that's the Captain Carter episode. It seems like I hate women. I don't. She's just terrible. But the Marvel Zombies episode was also pretty boring, because you're telling me a zombie knows how to work the fucking Iron Man armor and do magic, and I get it, you know, suspend your disbelief, whatever. It's written by the same guy who does like The Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead, but like they're just kind of different, you know. I didn't find it interesting. Tom Holland Spider-Man was weirdly tall in that episode. Some of the lines were so cheesy, like in the line or whatever. When he fucking speared Cap with his own shield, Bucky did, and like Vision feeding Black Panther to Wanda. Come on, bro. Chadwick's dead, and that's so fucking sad. And I hate to see him go out like that in this show. I mean, you know, now that I'm thinking about what if, like, they like out of like 2 out of the 4 Chadwick Boseman appearances, he dies in 2 of them, and that's fucked up. Anyways, Zombies, I couldn't think of anything to be less hype about. Like, I don't care about Marvel Zombies at all, and so just like most of these animated projects, I'm probably gonna skip them, you know, until a later date when I'm like, oh yeah, I know, yeah, you know, kind of like that. Anyways, back to the show.
And so, you know, that's Disney isn't looking to make good margins on their movies. They're looking to have the headline movie breaks $1 billion threshold. You know,
Disney literally wants to make more $1 billion at the box office every single film. To put it lightly.
God, I wish Morbius 2 had been on this slate. It would have been funny.
Well, first off, Marvel wouldn't be announcing that shit.
Hey, yeah, if anybody's like, why didn't they announce Spider-Man? Not their thing to announce. They don't get, at least live action, no. They don't get to do that.
First off, no. Second off, no. Yeah. Third off, stop.
Please stop. We're begging you.
Yes, honestly, I am begging.
Also, not to get ahead of ourselves, all the people that are just going mid. What do you want? What would make you happy? I suspect the answer is nothing, but I'm curious.
My brother in Christ, you can stop watching the MCU at any time. You're not obligated to stay on this train to the very end. Like, Infinity Saga's over. If you think everything after that has been shit, you can stop.
You are allowed to get off the ride.
Why did we bring up Morbius at all? You know, this is what happened when I'm not around, obviously, because I don't know how to tell you, but this is a train wreck. It's a train wreck.
And what is probably the most interesting thing to come out of the animation panel, because it was something I was very excited for, and then I'm still excited for it, but I'm scratching my head at it a bit.
It's a bit confusing, but it is still fun.
Yes. Spider-Man freshman year. The least important thing about what we're about to talk about is that it releases in 2024 on Disney Plus. They did say that. This was something that was billed when it was announced as being the story of Peter Parker before Civil War, and like kind of leading up to what happened in Civil War. And you were like, okay. And then the panel was going, and like, if I can give people a timeline a little bit for what happened was, they showed art of Peter Parker. You're like, okay, yeah, that looks like Peter Parker. They showed some art of the homemade suit, and you're like, okay, well, that doesn't look like the homemade suit from the movie, but it's still...
Well, we can take a few creative liberties and still tell the story. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Let them go a little wild.
And then they're like, Nico Minoru will appear, and you're like, whoa, from the Runaways? Okay, what's going on there? Amadeus Cho will appear, and you're like, Amadeus Cho, are we gonna get into like some I can't remember what his version of the Hulk is called, but it's something, the Amazing Hulk or the something.
I'll look it up while you're going over stuff.
But so like we're hitting like some teenage characters that are really interesting, and you're like, okay, this is still canon into the MCU in your mind. And you're like, this makes sense. We're introducing some, teenage characters. Harry Osborn, and you're like, okay, Harry Osborn's gonna be in this? I've kind of thought you might want to save him for like the live action movies, but okay, all right. I'm excited to see Harry Osborn. That's cool.
Just to interject, Amadeus Cho is Brawn.
Brawn? I thought Amadeus. What's the name of the? Oh, okay. Oh, the comic was called The Totally Awesome Hulk.
Yes, that is the name of the comic run that he shows up in. But his like hulked out guy is called Brawn.
Is Brawn. Okay, cool. Thank you.
No problem.
And then you're kind of confused, but then they throw up Daredevil and they say that Charlie Cox is going to voice him and team up with Spider-Man.
And then I clap, and I clap, and I clap.
You're like, yeah. Wait, they're doing this now? Spider-Man is already going to have met... Wait, no, it doesn't matter. It's Charlie Cox. Let's go.
Okay, well, you can forgive that because you can argue, okay, Daredevil finds this kid doing this shit and is like, all right, this is a child. I need to make sure this child does not get himself killed.
Yeah.
So...
And then
you can give that a pass.
And then they say Doctor Strange is also going to appear. And you're like, really? You're like, huh? Okay, well, maybe there's like a passing thing, but they don't really, but wait, Doctor Strange isn't around by yet in this point. And then they go, and Dr. Octopus is going to be in it, and the Rhino, and Scorpion, and Speed Demon, and Tarantula. And you're like, oh, whoa, hang on, hold on, wait a second.
And it's like, my brother in Christ, slow the fuck down, please. This is too much information all at once. I need to process any of this.
You're like, wait, but he doesn't know Dr. Octopus. Scorpion isn't a character yet. We know, we've met Matt Gargan. He's not,
I'm just going to interject here very briefly with, if Paul Giamatti does not reprise his role as the Rhino, I'm going to be upset.
God.
I need that.
Please.
One of the biggest things about Amazing Spider-Man that upsets me to this day is that Paul Giamatti as the Rhino did not cameo again.
Yeah, God. If only he had been No Way Home.
He was so fun.
If only he had been in No Way Home.
That would have been so good.
And this is when in my notes I wrote down, this can't be canon.
Yes.
Like, there's no way.
Maybe it's set in that time period,
but it's a different universe.
Canonically in this time period. Like, some fucky-wuckies have gone on, and things have changed.
Yeah. And I think this is when I was like, okay, I've adjusted my expectations for this show. And I'm now kind of more excited for it because I felt like the original time frame was a little bit restrictive. And then they announced that there's going to be a second season titled Spider-Man Sophomore Year. So pretty much this is just the new animated Spider-Man cartoon. Like, we kind of always have one running. And I think one just ended on Disney XD or whatever. So you're like, okay, this is just going to be the new animated Spider-Man show, but Marvel Studios is going to have a big part of it. So maybe it'll be a little higher in quality since this isn't canon to the MCU. Like, we'll get to see Daredevil. We'll get to see Doctor Strange. They showed a bunch of suits, and one of them was the Future Foundation suit. So maybe we'll see the Fantastic Four in this. Like, something that I have been thinking about recently is that I love the MCU, but I miss the kind of like Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes type show where it's like, this isn't the MCU. This is just another show where like we can play with all the characters and we can have these multiple continuities running. And you know, we don't just need to have everything conform to the movies, you know?
Yeah, I get you. Like, not everything has to be under the same umbrella. You should be treating, especially like some of the animated stuff, like it's a separate comic run where you can just kind of go fucking nuts and give people the fan service that they want, but that is still in the middle of being set up or like would never happen within main MCU content.
Yeah, I mean, this is a problem that Marvel has in the comic side of they tend to write about what is popular in the MCU. Like, we'll get into this later, but they just announced today a new Thunderbolts ongoing. I'll tell you, Thunderbolts, I don't know when the last time they were a comic book. You know? Like I wonder why they're doing a new Thunderbolts ongoing. Like, the X-Men were gone for years, and they were using the Inhumans so heavily. And then as soon as Fox was bought, they were like, okay, Jonathan Hickman, come relaunch the X-Men in the Marvel comics. Like, the Eternals are really big in the comics right now. Like, they really, it's obviously a different universe, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it because the only characters that are allowed to be important are the ones that the audience of the movies and the MCU recognize.
Yeah.
It
is a very unfortunate problem.
Is a whole bigger thing. But my whole point of saying that is that I'm excited that it sounds like this show might branch out the universe a bit and get some characters that aren't really getting love right now.
Yeah, we're starting to break that mold a little bit, and that's pretty exciting, because I remember early MCU days where I would like just end up catching episodes of Earth's Mightiest Heroes offhand, and I would see people talk about it online, sometimes more than the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And it looked sick, and they had all these plot threads that were super interesting. Like, if I remember correctly, they covered a Kang episode.
Yeah,
they had like a Kang two-parter or something, and it was really good.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to get back to that, where we can have interesting stories that are just their own thing.
Yeah. And aren't like Thanos is being used in the MCU, so every property needs to be about Thanos, you know?
Yeah.
The Avengers game was almost a little refreshing in that because that team we were fighting AIM and MODOK, and that was like, I mean, it's maybe they were just a little bit ahead of the curve, as we'll talk about later, but like at least at the time those weren't big things in the MCU.
Well, it's games as a service, so like being ahead of the curve just means that you're set for when they finally do announce it.
Unless
even so, though,
unless you
unless your service does not, succeed.
Yeah. So the funny anecdote, they just released Pride emblems for that game. Like,
what?
Yeah. Like,
it's been like 2 years. What?
Yeah. Not only that, they released them in July, like at the end of July. Like a couple days ago. They didn't even do it during June.
Pride
That game, they're so behind. They couldn't even get their Pride Month content out during Pride Month.
I was so excited for this game before it launched that I bought it full price. Every day I have to live with that decision. Every day I have to remember that this is a choice that I consciously made. I just wanted a game where I could have fun playing as Iron Man, and it gave me that for like an hour or two. And then, yeah. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
I can't be stewing in my thoughts this long.
I was just going to say, Tyler and I both own the game. So one day, the MCUnhinged group is going to have to play Marvel's Avengers and suffer.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've touched it. I forgot how it controls.
Yeah, it's clunky is the answer.
Yeah.
The controversial bit of freshman year, I guess maybe it not being canon is controversial, but I don't think
I feel like this is less controversial than
Yeah.
you're making it out to be, considering how controversial main canon
Yeah.
MCU for this exact fact is.
Yeah. Well, I think it's controversial for me. Is that Norman
Understandable. Same.
Osborn is going to be replacing Tony Stark as Peter's mentor. They literally put up a image that it is the scene from Civil War where Peter walks in and Aunt May is on the couch with Tony, but instead of Tony, it's Norman Osborn.
It's Norman Osborn.
And I was like, I like Norman Osborn. I think I'm excited for this. I think the wrong type of people are going to be really happy about this. You know,
they're fulfilling the wishes of the vocal people who are idiots and don't get it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be bold, and I'm gonna take that stance and say, people who are still upset about MCU Spidey being like a Tony Stark protege and a fanboy, go touch grass. It's been this many years. There are different runs of Spider-Man for a reason. There are different versions of the character. You think he should be an adult? Cool. You have that. Play the video game, for God's sake.
Or read
Stop hyper-focusing on this.
Read the comics right now. He's an adult in the comics.
Honestly, I'm just... The amount of people I saw talking after No Way Home going, yes, finally, they fixed him! And I'm like, this boy has been traumatized for life and lost every single person he cares about. And yeah,
you're happy.
I get that Spider-Man's meant to be that, but you're fucking clapping because like, oh yeah, no more Tony Stark. Fuck you. I'm still mourning over his loss. Don't you dare say his name. You have no right.
And now they're putting Norman Osborn, that sick fuck, in his place.
Every time I see Norman Osborn, I want to drop kick him. That's my stance.
Correct. Norman Osborn is a despicable person. I think it's going to be an interesting dynamic. To have the protege type thing, where your like mentor is maybe one of the evilest people in the Marvel universe.
I feel like that's very clearly like setting up for an eventual confrontation where Peter realizes that the guy that has been teaching him and the guy who's been funding him is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he has to like get over his hero worship and take him down.
Yeah, I think,
which can be interesting.
I think this sets up an interesting storyline. I also think that I don't like that people are going to be really happy about this.
Yeah, I'm less excited about it because of fan reaction, which sucks.
Yes,
but this is just how it is sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, Spider-Man freshman year. I might have a lot to say about this after all they've already said. First off, there's no way this shit is canon. You're telling me that Peter Parker has met Doc Ock, Rhino, Scorpion? We know Scorpion. We've seen him. He's in prison. He's not even Scorpion yet in the MCU. He goes to school with Nico Minoru from the Runaways. He goes to school. We're gonna meet fucking Harry Osborn and Norman's here. And Oscorp is a thing, and Doctor Strange. He never met Doctor Strange before Infinity War. There's a lot going on, and the time frame between him getting like his powers and the death of Uncle Ben and meeting Tony Stark is like 6 months tops, maybe like 6 to 8 months. Right? He hasn't been doing it for long, which. I mean, obviously, I don't really mind that it's not canon to the MCU. I love Spider-Man in general. That's probably the only superhero that I'll actively go out and read comics for and watch shows for, you know, separate from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But, I don't know, they kind of, you know, when they first announced, we were kind of like, you know, this is going to be how his origin story into the MCU, right? But now, obviously, that's not the case, especially with sophomore year coming up. I haven't seen Ned. What is Ned? Who the fuck is... where's all these villains coming from? We're being funded by Norman Osborn, who's replacing Tony as the mentor, which, I mean, do what you want. I love Tony, though. It's going to be an interesting dynamic. And also, fuck the haters, you know. But there's just like, there's no fucking way. Even the website's like, yo, this is how he's gonna get into the thing, and it's like, no, it's not. There's no fucking way, right? No fucking way. What else about Spider-Man? I mean, other than that, the art style looks. I think it leans a little bit too heavy into like the comic look, right? Like the characters all have that kind of look about them. But I definitely need to see it in like motion before you know before I actually judge whether or not I'd want to watch it even. Also things like Daredevil, that's cool. He's gonna be there. He's making a lot of appearances actually. Fucking Future Foundation suit, that could mean a lot. Fantastic Four might show up and get some Johnny Storm. You know, Future Foundation is a weird suit to pick for this because it implies that Johnny Storm is no more, which would be sad. But again, I'm not opposed to just a normal ass Spider-Man cartoon. Even though I haven't watched like a lot of them, like I think Spectacular looked good. Spider-Man and like his friends or whatever, when he had like Nova and White Panther or whatever. I don't know her name, White Tiger and Iron Fist and shit when they're all in high school. That's a cool show. Spider-Man's just a cool dude, and hopefully the show is good. But it being not canon to MCU means that probably gonna be one more of those back burner things. But back to the show.
We'll move on to the stuff that really matters now. Which was the next day they did their actual Marvel Studios panel for like the flagship stuff. They announced a bunch of stuff. I think we'll just take this. I have it written down by like order of when it's coming out, and ironically that is also kind of order of excitement.
A little bit.
The really exciting stuff is kind of coming later on. But starting off, they said Phase 4. They started off with a bang. They were like putting up a bunch of like the movies that have been coming out, and they said Phase 4 ends this year after Wakanda Forever, and I went, what?
Well, yeah, because we're so used to like the phases end with Avengers, and it's like, excuse me. But hello, Mr. Feige. The Young Avengers aren't together yet. What are you doing? My brother. What are you doing?
Hey, that's a whole other thing. Hey, Feige, the Young Avengers aren't together yet. You better fix that like soon. I'm getting tired of waiting. No,
I listen. You better set up Billy.
You better
set up Billy and Teddy. If you back out on the real first gay Marvel couple, I'm gonna make fucking lose it. That's a promise.
I'm gonna make fucking lose it. I love it.
It's one of my favorite phrases.
But we'll run through the rest of Phase 4 really quick because there's some cool stuff. She-Hulk Attorney at Law, which we already knew that starts on August 7th. Sorry, August 7th, 2022.
17th?
17th. Holy shit, I can't read. It starts on August 17th.
Do you want me to cover the dates?
No, you know what? You can if you'd like to. I think I'm better now, but I fucked up. So
all right, I figure I'll give you a little break, let you catch up. Okay. Like once we're done Phase 4, you can cover Phase 5, and we can swap if you want.
All right.
So yeah, She-Hulk Attorney at Law, starting August 17th. Running up until October 12th, which gives it, 5 episodes?
That's 9, I think. Through September.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I'm forgetting a whole month. What am I doing? The meaty series. Very excited for that. Directed by... Oh, do you want to...
I was just going to say, I think they described it as a half-hour legal comedy. So the more episodes...
Very exciting.
Makes a little bit of sense with that.
Yeah. Especially if they're only half hour.
Yeah.
So that'll be a bit more manageable than the current Disney Plus shows.
Yeah, and then I also have I have their who's directing and writing them written down. I don't know if that's super interesting for all of them. There are a few where I think that information is interesting, but
okay. So if you want to chime in with the ones that you think the fans are going to be super interested in, we can do that.
Yeah, that works.
All right. So after She-Hulk, we're gonna have an untitled Halloween special in October. Ooh.
This is actually interesting because they didn't announce this at San Diego Comic-Con, and I really thought they would because we know this is happening. Michael Giacchino is directing it, and he has posted on his social media pictures from the set. Like they have publicly acknowledged this, but they have never officially announced it. So I assume it's going to happen at D23. But this is supposedly Werewolf by Night. And I guess we'll find out. But I included this on it. It is still supposed to be coming out this year, but I included it because I thought it was weird that they still haven't announced this when it's supposed to air in 3 months.
Yeah, especially considering like every year it seems like people start celebrating the holidays way earlier. So it's like Halloween, you count down from April. Let's go. So
but
kind of interesting, but I'm curious to see how this will go. Like even just tonally.
Yeah, no, I mean, Michael Giacchino's doing it, which for people that don't know, Michael Giacchino's a very famous composer who has done a million incredible things that you've listened to. And I mean, in the MCU, he did Doctor Strange, he did Thor: Love and Thunder, which that one wasn't his greatest work, to be honest. But
give me 1 second. My AC just turned on. I need to turn that off. Sorry about that.
That's fine. Yeah, Michael Giacchino has a very good relationship with Disney overall, having done a lot of Pixar, like having scored a lot of Pixar movies. Marvel specifically, he did all 3 of the new Spider-Man movies, for people that don't know. Thor: Love and Thunder, like I said, he did Doctor Strange. So it's interesting that they're having him direct this. I think that's a pretty cool transition.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We'll see if they ever announce it. They shot it.
Yeah, we'll see if they don't just like quote unquote shadow drop it and everybody goes, we knew this was happening. What do you mean shadow drop?
It would be kind of cool though, because every time we get super far into like or we get super close to an MCU project, you always see the take of like, they don't have to release a trailer. Like Marvel could just release this movie with no trailers and everybody would go see it. So it'd be kind of fun if they did that with this. If they just Werewolf by Night on Disney Plus today, like, and it's just you get to go in and not really know anything about it. I think it'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, especially considering a Halloween special is more of a low stakes thing than like a big box office film where of course they're never gonna take that fucking risk. Even if it is something that you think would be cool.
Yeah.
Disney
no way.
Are never going to let themselves be put in the position where they might make less money.
No way. It occurs to me that I didn't plan this super well.
Okay.
We're gonna back up a little bit. Let's talk about She-Hulk. I totally moved on to the untitled Halloween special without even thinking about like the fact that we got a trailer for She-Hulk. So sorry, Tyler. Do whatever you want with this. Let's talk about the trailer for She-Hulk. Did you watch the trailer for She-Hulk?
I have not. I like going into the TV shows kind of as blind as possible. So
even
if
what
I see
have
a teaser,
written down is
a teaser's fine.
Maybe you don't.
No, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'm fine with that because that's just text. It's not like seeing the scenes of context.
Okay,
or
I see what you're saying.
We're good.
So they showed a trailer. I thought it looked great. I liked the first trailer, so fight me Twitter, whatever. It looks very funny. It looks like it's got lots of fourth wall breaks, which people are going to be like, she's copying Deadpool, and it's like, well, technically, She-Hulk did it first.
She can be a little quirky. I give her the pass. Let's go.
Yeah, and she did it first in the comics, so I don't care. She had a run in like the 80s where she broke the fourth wall all the time, so fuck you.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
The show, pretty much, it looks like it's just filling out the universe with a bunch of like lame D-list villains, so that's pretty cool.
Good.
I'm excited for that.
I love fleshing out the MCU with lame bitches.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It seems that we are continuing Phase Wong. Wong will be appearing in this show, which
it's Wong time. Let's go.
It's Wonging time. I don't know.
It's Wong o'clock.
It's Wong o'clock. And the thing that made me jump out of my seat and scream, even though I knew it was happening.
It's the thing that makes the most possible sense to do, so of course it was happening, but like, even just knowing that it is confirmed.
And seeing it was like seeing it was very cool. Daredevil. You see Daredevil not a lot, just a little bit, but I saw Daredevil and I went, oh my god, I freaked the fuck out. So yeah, I'm very excited for She-Hulk. They just released a featurette today or whatever where they had like, I don't know if this is a bit from the show or if they did this for advertising, but she's like driving a car and then she turns at the camera and she goes, I just want you to know that this isn't going to be one of those shows where there's a cameo every week. Like, and then she goes like, well, except for Bruce and Emil and Wong. Like,
I love that. That's really fucking good.
And I don't know if they like if that's going to be a scene that actually plays in like episode 1 or if that's like,
I feel like that's a perfect thing to just film on the side as a teaser.
Yeah.
But like they might tweak that scene to be worked into the show where she's like stuck in traffic and she's like mumbling to herself and then she turns to the camera and talks about some shit.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm
see.
excited.
I'm very excited for this show, and not just because of the cameos. I'm very excited for She-Hulk as well.
CG aside, I trust Tatiana Maslany to do this character really well. So
yeah, I know nothing about her, but people love her, so I respect.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Phase 4 and its ending. One, I don't mind that it's not ending on an Avengers movie. I don't feel like we need to, and I feel like their kind of reasoning of like wanting to end sagas with the Avengers and not just phases is more fitting, actually. You know, bring everyone together for the big end, and you can have smaller team ups throughout, especially because we have a lot of characters now. Also, the phase thing has always been BS anyways. It's marketing, you know, talk or whatever. Phases don't really matter, especially because, you know, like, I mean, we got like Thanos in Phase 1, but he didn't like fucking get off his ass until like Phase 3 and shit like that. And people, you know, people think that like, oh, Phase 4 is so directionless, you know, it just doesn't go anywhere. Like like when we had stuff like Kang, or you know, he who remains shows up in Loki. And that's like early Phase 4. That's before even Black Widow came out. We have like Captain America, the mantle being passed down. We get the Eternals, the Celestial stuff that happened. We get Moon Knight and the gods. We get Thor Love and Thunder with the gods. Wanda's batshit insane. The multiverse is opened up. Doctor Strange has a third eye. Incursions, universes. The Spider-Man came together. Like Phase 4. Kind of popped off. Either way, it ending with let's talk about She-Hulk. She-Hulk looks fun. I actually do like that we're gonna get a bunch of fucking shit tier D-list characters that like aren't shit for this show. I like that she's doing the fourth wall breaks. Obviously, that's her thing. I like that Daredevil's gonna show up. I'm not like a huge Daredevil fan by any means, right? Like I watched the movie when I was like 5 or whatever. I'm sure it came out when I was like maybe 10. And thought the fucking bringing to life scene was very funny, but also introduced me to that song. And I really like Colin Farrell in that movie as Bullseye, because he showed up everywhere in my life. And also not Kevin Feige, but fucking Happy Hogan's in that movie as like the sidekick guy. I don't know his name anymore. But either way, glad to see that fucking Charlie Cox is back, especially after we got fucking Kingpin in Hawkeye. And I mean, he's an attorney. He's some kind of lawyer. I don't know if he's a prosecutor or an attorney. I think he's an attorney. But I'm glad to see him back. It makes complete sense. It probably won't be for long. We get a brief shot of his suit. We don't see his face. We don't see the cowl. But I mean, She-Hulk's pretty funny. I can't wait to see it. She's big. She's tall. She is strong. I want her to destroy me. I want her to fucking kill me. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the show. I haven't watched the featurette that Shawn mentioned because, you know, I'm just gonna watch. The show comes out really soon, and so I'm like, I gotta save some of that for the show. I don't know what it's in there is in the show because I haven't seen it. But if it is, I want to save some of that comedy for the show, especially if the episodes are, in fact, 30 minutes. The time kind of flies by when you're having fun. But yeah. Also, Werewolf by Night. Again, it's weird they haven't announced it. We all know it's coming. It's been acknowledged. I don't know much about Werewolf by Night, so I don't have much to say. But I do know that that's where Moon Knight made his first appearance. And I love me some motherfucking Moon Knight. So, Moon Knight better show up. I'm gonna be a little upset if he doesn't, because that's, it's where he debuted in the comics. Like, put Moon Knight in this bitch. Get Oscar Isaac in this special. I need him. I'm begging you. Anyways, back to the show.
All right, now we can jump back to if you want to jump into Black Panther.
All right. Finally, we have Black Panther 2, officially named Black Panther Wakanda Forever, coming out November 11th this year.
Did you watch the trailer for this one?
I have not. I have been meaning to.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of time to catch up on the Marvel announcements, unfortunately.
Yeah, this trailer. Oh my god. This might be the best trailer in the entire MCU.
I'm just gonna go ahead and play it right now as we talk about it.
Yeah. They do some awesome music choice in this. We get into the reveal that Namor is in the movie, which they announced at the panel, and then he's very prevalent in the trailer. We saw Riri Williams. It looks like the plot of the movie is Wakanda and Atlantis are at war, which I am very down for.
It's a very sick concept to go for. I've been wondering how they would handle Wakanda Forever given Chadwick Boseman and that entire situation. And I think this is a very good way to work around that respectfully while letting this movie shine.
Mm-hmm.
Because this movie means a lot to so many people, and it's important to keep it hype with the MCU, but also to keep it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a pretty good balance of those two things.
And I mean, I've seen it said a lot, and I think that it's very important, and I think it really fits with the tone of what the Black Panther franchise is. The introduction of they're not calling it Atlantis. They're calling them. They're from. I really am not sure how you're supposed to pronounce this, but it's called Talocan, I believe, which is I believe it is a kind of South American. It's like a concept of like a heaven kind of type thing. It's like it's the same idea of like underwater city, but it's more afterlife related than like Atlantis being the city that sunk and like,
okay, which is
existed historically.
Another interesting direction to take it.
Yeah. Now, whether the city is, I think what it will still be the city that sunk, and they're just having it be that the legends and the whatever, the South American stories are based on this thing that actually happened is probably the direction they're going to go. I don't think they'll get super theological about it, but
yeah, that's very doubtful.
Yeah, but Namor is I don't know what nationality the man. I do want to look at who's playing him though. I should have written it down. But what's I've seen a lot of people talking about, and I think is important, is with like how the first Black Panther movie brought like African culture to the forefront of the MCU, and really let that shine, and really shared that culture with the West, with like a more Western audience that doesn't really get to experience that kind of thing.
Yeah,
they're doing a similar thing with, it seems, South American culture in this movie with Namor. Namor played by Tenoch. Tenoch.
Let me.
Yeah,
see
I'm gonna
give you any help.
I will send you his name.
Namor MCU.
I'm terrible with names. I'm so sorry.
The first name is a little bit difficult,
Yeah.
but it seems to be Tenoch Huerta Mejia.
Yes. And I'm very excited for that. He seemed very excited. I know he gave a speech at Hull H. He gave a speech in Spanish where he was talking about how important this movie it means to him and how much culturally it means to be playing this character and all that.
Yeah.
So that's great. I always love that. In terms of like kind of talking about bigger MCU stuff and less cultural impact, which obviously Black Panther movies have a ton of. Riri Williams being in this is super cool. I'm really excited for that.
I'm so hyped.
I'm so hyped for that.
Because I remember when Black Panther first came out, everyone was so excited for the eventual like Shuri Tony interactions and stuff. And the perfect way to continue to do something like that, even beyond Infinity War and Endgame, is just have Riri Williams.
Yeah.
Have Ironheart interact with Shuri. It's so smart. I'm really excited because Ironheart's a thing that I've like wanted adapted for a while. So
I can't wait.
Hell yeah.
I'm so excited. I think they're filming right now the actual show.
I'm so happy.
And then I have one more note about Wakanda Forever, and it's not anything confirmed, but it's my own theory. I wanted to bring it up here. It's that I think we might get Doctor Doom in this movie.
In this movie of all things.
I think it will be at the very end like Thanos. And I think this was...
Oh, you think he'll be the post-credits, like, little tease?
I think, because in the trailer, we see that there's some sort of military attacking a boat, and it's definitely not, like, a Wakanda... They're not a Wakandan military. They're definitely not the people from Talocan. Like, it's... They don't really look like they're wearing, like, U.S. military uniforms. I think they might be, like, Latvarians.
Yeah,
and I think what we're going to find out is that Doom set this whole thing up, this whole conflict between Namor and Wakanda.
Understandable. I mean, if anybody is going to set up international conflicts for his own benefit, it would be Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
So the more you explain it, the more plausible it seems. I don't want to get my hopes up, but also, God, Doctor Doom in the MCU.
And especially after this weekend with them announcing what this is all leading up to, it feels like a very much like we're doing what happened at the end of Avengers, at the end of Phase 1, you know, at the end of the first phase of the multiverse saga, we're setting up who could possibly be the final villain of the saga. I think it would
not to mention, speaking of Young Avengers, there's a whole story where Doctor Doom's important. Let's fucking go.
Come on, please, Young Avengers. You don't.
I need it. Give me Wiccan and Speed, please.
I'm no longer asking.
I need it. I am no longer asking. I've done my time of waiting.
And if you want to just hit on the last thing in Phase 4 that is supposed to be coming out still.
All right. The last thing for Phase 4. Can't believe I'm reading these words, but it is very fitting. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special in December.
Written directed by James Gunn, which, thank God. But,
of course.
Also, I put this on the list because they didn't talk about this either, which I thought was very surprising.
I think the holiday specials are just going to be either shadow drops or they will talk about them closer to the actual holiday.
Or
it'll be like some TV spots like 'Tis the Season with the Guardians of the Galaxy and you have Rocket going, what the fuck is a Christmas or whatever.
Yeah, here's my theory. And I'm going to be so wrong, but I hope next time we record an episode like this, I'm right. I think they're going to announce these at D23 in September, and they're also going to announce, and we're going to be doing, 4 specials a year from now on. They're going to announce, another slate of 4 specials coming in 2023 that will be, we'll use these to, explore some characters that we don't want to do full TV shows or full movies about, but, 40-minute kind of themed specials, maybe 3 or 4 times a year, coming to Disney Plus, and I think they're gonna announce that at the
I don't
D23.
know. That seems like a bit much.
Yes, but I think that's their MO right now is a bit much. They're we're gonna.
I mean, I could see maybe a couple more in 2023. But I think 4 years a little insane.
4 years a lot. 4 years.
I would say 1, maybe 2 a year.
Yeah.
To explore side stuff outside of main TV shows with a smaller budget. Possible. Unlikely still, but possible.
I think 2 a year is a lot more likely. My hope is that next year, 4th of July, do an Isaiah Bradley special, you cowards.
Oh my fucking god. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want it. I'm just saying,
Cowards.
U.S. Agent 4th of July would be way better.
I
think that would just be funnier.
I like the Isaiah Bradley idea because it kind of is like punching the holiday in the face a little bit, and I think that's funny. But I also think
the satire of U.S. Agent on July 4th would be really good.
I think you're right. You're right. Either way, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of characters like that maybe we're not gonna get super a bunch with, like in the movies and TV shows. Give me that Isaiah Bradley as a special. I don't care. Like, just do it. You know.
Okay, Wakanda Forever. That trailer was so fucking good. It was so good. The music going from Bob Marley to Kendrick Lamar or something. That shit's good. Fucking, we get to see M'Baku. We get to see the Queen, Shuri, Ironheart, Riri Williams. We get to see her with her Iron Man moment, forging the armor, making that heart symbol. I can't wait to see the armor in full. I'm really excited for Riri Williams. And I know people are going to be upset about it. And that makes me even more excited. Namor looks cool. I love what they did to him. You know, he's kind of like the first mutant of the Marvel anything, right? Because he's like one of the first superheroes ever made. Fucking Namor and the Human Torch. And so maybe they'll bring that into it. I really like the shots of him like standing on the beach, or when he turned, or that shot of him like in front of that burning house. I'm sure he's like fucking old as shit, right? But as a kid, and then like him, and then they transitioned to a shot of him, the same back shot, but him walking out of the water onto the shores of Wakanda, I assume. I love the scenes of like everyone's like mourning Chadwick or T'Challa in this case. His funeral looks like a festival, like a celebration of his life. Everyone's wearing white. Shuri still looks, pretty sad. Everyone's crying. Ramonda giving that speech. I'm the queen of the most powerful nation in the world. All my family is gone. What more could I have given? Stuff like that. Although, I mean, Shuri's still around. I'm sure she's like, what the fuck? But like it's kind of crazy, right? We get some shots of the Dora Milaje. We get some of the ones like Defect or something like that, and the blue armor. We get some shots of the Atlanteans, and they look pretty cool. They're wearing like breathing apparatuses, kind of like they did in Aquaman. And I'm really interested to see what they do in this movie, because like, why is this war between Wakanda and Atlantis happening? Is Sean's theory right that Doctor Doom may be controlling it from the shadows? I really like. What else is in this trailer? We see someone in a Black Panther suit. They're kind of slim, so it's not M'Baku, at least in that shot. But I think we do know that there's gonna be multiple people wearing the suit throughout the movie. I wonder who's gonna ultimately end up with the suit. That's kind of my thing. And in that shot, we also see Namor on the other side. They're both kind of like down, But yeah, this is gonna be this is gonna be a crazy movie. And I remember watching reactions to it. People are like tearing up. It's very emotional. This is gonna be a Marvel movie for sure, but it's probably also gonna be like a celebration of Chadwick and what he did for Marvel and stuff like that, And every time I go see a Marvel movie, I still check the Marvel intro. Like, is Black Panther still like the final thing they show in that Marvel thing? And he is, and I'm always happy for it. Black Panther's a goated movie, and I'm hoping Wakanda Forever lives up. I'm very excited to see what they do. Everett Ross is back. Maybe we can see Bucky again. He come in and help. But I mean, ultimately, this is about the Wakandans versus the Atlanteans, and I want to see some of that culture come out. Other than that, the Guardians Christmas special I don't have any thoughts on that. I forgot it was a thing, and I don't really watch those kind of things anyways. So, although I do want more Guardians after seeing Love and Thunder, but whatever. Back to the show.
We'll transition into Phase 5 now. The Phase 5 is kicked off proper in February 17th, 2023 with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, again being directed by Peyton Reed. They showed some stuff for this. They said in the panel that they're going to be spending a lot of time in the quantum realm. And then
which is interesting.
I got this here's a problem. I got this footage.
Yeah, the way you've organized these now. Oh.
Yeah, I got this footage. I got the description of the footage, and then I was like, where did I get them from again? Because I want to credit where I got them from. I know where I got them from. Alex posted the link in here. If I go back and I look, I can find it because he linked them to me. Here they are. It was from comicbook.com is where they got posted. So this was on their live Hall H recap. They posted these. So the footage for Quantumania, I'm just going to read this off. It says Scott Lang is reading excerpts from his book to a crowd. He hasn't been in action in a while. Jail calls his phone. He picks up Cassie Lang from prison. He wants her help, but he doesn't want her wasting her life. He talks about saving the world, and Hank Pym calls him out for constantly pointing that out, which Janet and Hope also chime in on. They say, you're an interesting... And then Kang starts to talk in the background. He says, you're an interesting man, Scott Lang. You've lost a lot of time, but time isn't what you think. It's not a straight line. Something in a lab explodes and starts sucking them all into the quantum realm. They all end up in another world, navigating it in new suits. Bill Murray shows up, and he knows Janet. MODOK flashes across the screen. And then Kang says, everything you are holding on to, everything you call life, I know how it ends. And then Scott says that Kang has made a mistake, that he's an Avenger. And Kang goes, you're an Avenger. Have I killed you before? And then the footage ended there, which is...
Dude.
Badass. Holy
Kang
shit.
Kang is so good. I'm so happy Kang is in the MCU now.
God, you're an Avenger. Have I killed you before? Oh,
what a fucking Chad move.
What in line.
And we are talking about this in the same breath as MODOK appears for the first time in the MCU, which tells you something.
MODOK. And Bill Murray is in this movie.
Yeah?
That's crazy.
It's an Ant-Man movie. It's got to be at least a little funny, so you throw some Bill Murray in.
Throw some Bill Murray in. Call it a day. I'm very interested in what they're going to do with Cassie Lang. This is like the third actress to play the role.
You know what they're going to do with Cassie Lang? They're going to continue to set up the movie that they need to deliver now.
Oh, please, just give me your Avengers, you cowards.
We know you're doing it. We've known you're doing it since WandaVision, motherfuckers. Give it to me. Come on!
This might be the Phase 5 movie I'm most excited for, to be honest. Just because Kang.
Yes, understandable.
I know I brought up that Jeff Loveness is writing this, and I brought that up because that is not the same person that wrote the first two Ant-Man movies. He's written on Rick and Morty, and...
hell of a sentence.
Yeah, and also he has also done like actual comic books. He wrote a Groot comic book, he wrote a Nova comic book, and he wrote a Spider-Man comic book.
Okay, so it'll be interesting to get that perspective as well.
Yes.
Ant-Man Quantumania, the third Ant-Man film. I really like the first one. The second one's like okay, but it's all right. But this one seems pretty cool. I'm very excited for it. Mostly because of Kang. I feel like his Jonathan Majors' performance in Loki was top notch. Like literally stole the show for the one episode that he's in, and I want more of it. And Sean's description of the footage. You know, are you an Avenger? Have I killed you before? That sounds fucking sick. All right, that sounds really good. So might be tuning into this one. I mean, obviously it's a movie. I'm gonna watch it and then I'm gonna watch it again for the podcast. But this one sounds like a day one, like a day one kind of movie. I know people were criticizing like the suits and or the visuals of it based on the poster people got at SECC, but obviously it's a poster. They're not gonna give you like official like movie quality renders. It looked way more like toy style kind of renders, like something you put on a toy box. But I mean, the suits look fine. Cassie's wearing her shoes. I am curious as to why they recast her. Maybe the other actors didn't want to do it, or just couldn't do it. I don't know. Who knows anything? But I'm excited to see what they do with this. Why is she in jail? What are you doing, Cassie? You stealing stuff? Cassie, you can get raised like this. Anyways. What was your stepdad? He's a cop. What the fuck? Anyways. Back to the show. Let's see what they talk about next.
The next thing on the slate, and this was actually the first thing they showed, so my notes are out of order.
It's fine.
But it's the next thing coming out is Secret Invasion in spring 2023. We know this is 6 episodes. This is interesting. We got some footage for it. Well, we didn't, but they did. Again, comicbook.com is where I got this description from. Nick Fury emerges from the light of a ship. He is returning to Earth and has not answered Maria Hill's calls for help. He tells her this is different. War Machine is questioned about his security detail. Talos encounters evil Skrulls who suddenly emerge. Fury is ready to fight, but Olivia Colman's character tells him he is in no shape to take on the fight. Fury wants to take them on anyways, or he wants to take them on. I think they must have been like watching the footage and typing this because some of the
there's a typo that's a little bit hard to decipher, which is why we're like, but like.
But then you see a motorcade get flipped. You get a look at Emilia Clarke. Talos wants to know what the Skrulls want from Nick Fury, and it is not revealed in the trailer. But I mean, this sounds like it's what they said the show is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm excited for a Secret Invasion story. I'm curious to see how they'll handle it, and the fact that you have so many like big names coming back from MCU proper for this is exciting.
Yeah,
I just like we're still in the setup phase, and I payoff. Show me my boy.
Yeah, Rhodey. Great to get more Rhodey since we didn't hear about Armor Wars this week. Colby Smulders coming back is always great. I love Maria Hill. Everybody described that it had kind of gritty thriller vibes, so that's cool.
That's gonna be exciting.
I want to be excited for this movie or the show. I really do. I worry that this is too small a scale for such a big comic book storyline. I
mean, that's fair.
I'm like, do I want to see Secret Invasion done with like no Avengers? But I guess we're getting Rhodey, so we do have some Avengers at least. But
well, here's the thing. At the same time, you have to remember that this is not the first time they've taken a comic story that was much longer and that was much more fleshed out and very different, and then adapted it very specifically to fit into the MCU's needs. Remember Civil War.
But Civil War still had like the entirety of the Avengers in it.
That is true, and like some people would argue that it shouldn't have because it was a Captain America movie that didn't feel like a Captain America movie.
Yeah.
But I think setting up Secret Invasion here, I think you could very easily just leave it open-ended and have like a cliffhanger here where you elaborated on it in like a season 2 if that gets greenlit.
Yeah, that'd be
cool. Or
cool.
in a future movie because like the Skrulls could still be out there and you could have like a couple renegades and maybe set up a little Super Skrull action, maybe just a little bit of right there.
Super.
And just a little bit of Super Skrull as a trait.
As a treat.
Well, yeah, we're getting our drop feed Fantastic Four until we get actual Fantastic Four later, potentially. So
I mean, what do you think the odds are that we meet? I can never remember his name from the Hulkling in this.
I don't think we meet him. I think we get like teases of him here at best.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, if there's a story to introduce him, it's probably gonna be this one.
Yeah. Oh God.
So I want to be wrong about that. so badly I want to be wrong.
Secret Invasion. This is interesting, at least. I'm excited for the return of Nick Fury. You know, he hasn't been on Earth since post Endgame. Let's see. Who's gonna be a Skrull, right? If they'd even do it that way. Where are these evil Skrulls coming from? I'm glad Rhodey is here. I desperately need more Don Cheadle Rhodey, especially after his 2-minute cameo in fucking Falcon and the Winter Soldier, especially after rewatching Iron Man 2 and soon to be 3. And it's gonna be interesting. And yeah, I'm with Shawn. I don't think this is gonna be long enough, but I'm also with Shibuya and thinking they could leave it open, and then we could maybe suss some other people out. Maybe think about like, well, you know, who else is kind of not who they're saying they are. But interesting they chose Rhodey specifically. Again, I had a crackpot idea in Discord, right? See, Rhodey's been a Skrull the whole time. And the real Rhodey is still Terrence Howard. That's how they do it. Otherwise, bring back Terrence Howard in the Multiverse Saga, which we'll talk about later. But I mean, that's just what I think. Otherwise, you know, I'm excited for it. I'm gonna watch it because I want to know what the fuck's going on, and I've wanted to see more Skrulls in a minute. Right? It's been a long time since we just sat down with some Skrulls. You know, we know they're out there, and I want Super Skrull. You know, I want Super Skrull. I want to see that happen. Specifically, I want the one from the Runaways, but I'll take any Super Skrull at this point, just because I think it's a cool concept, and then of course it has ties to the Fantastic Four and stuff like that. Other ways, let's see what's next.
I can't wait to cover it in 7 years. The next release on this slate, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, releasing on May 5th, 2023. Written and directed by a little man you might know as James Gunn. They also showed some exclusive footage from this. The footage sees the Guardians captured by Ravagers, and Nebula reveals that they have an appointment with Gamora. Peter Quill is caught all the way off guard. Peter reflects on their time together. "You were everything to me," he said. "I thought you were gone, but you're here and I miss you." Gamora tells him that person was not her. I want to stop there for a second because everything I've wanted from that. I'm very interested to see how the Peter Quill and Gamora from 2014 relationship works. And I'm glad that it sounds like
I'm glad we're addressing it,
Yeah.
and, you know, finally coming back to this and going over the issues of, yeah, this ain't your Gamora.
Yeah.
You gotta move on, but I know it's her face, but, she's... stages of grief.
Yeah.
Right now, I think he's in denial bargaining, roughly. So, given some time, hopefully we get, the full consequences of this.
I love that.
And how it's affected him.
Yeah. I love that Gamora's leading the Ravagers in this.
It's really good.
The footage continues. We get our first look at Adam Warlock, who is being played by Will Poulter. They see a grown Groot fighting back to back with Quill. So I assume that means we're going to have Groot at the size from the first movie again.
Hopefully.
We see Chukwudi Iwuji, who was in Peacemaker with James Gunn, and he is playing the High Evolutionary in this movie. Who's a comic book character that I know nothing about. The Guardians float on a space planet. Gamora caps the trailer by calling Quill by the wrong name and turning him down. The Guardians joke on Quill for talking to her so intimately on an open communication line, and they've been listening all along. It ends with Mantis asking what we know about Rocket, and then they see a shot of a very young Rocket Raccoon. Other details from this panel: Maria Bakalova, who was she played Borat's daughter in the new Borat movie. I'm pretty sure that was her. Yeah, Borat subsequent movie film. She is She's voicing Cosmo the space dog.
Hell yeah.
Apparently, she also did mocap for it.
Wow. Good for her.
Yeah, dude, I'm happy. I love James Gunn and the choices that he makes. He said the movie is about how Rocket is one of the saddest beings in the universe. And
yeah, look, this raccoon can fit so much trauma.
And everybody on stage was crying while talking about it because this is the end of the line for probably most of them. I mean, James Gunn is done after this. He seems like he's got a pretty cushy deal over at DC that he seems happy with.
Yeah.
Dave Bautista won't come back, which like sucks, but also,
yeah.
How long is Drax fun for?
I think given the proper spacing of like when the movies come out, he can remain fun enough. I think if you like go back and binge, like if you want to just have a Guardians night with friends, he will wear thin within hour 3.
Yeah. Man, halfway through Guardians 2. Damn.
I mean, yeah. Also considering that if you want to have a proper Guardians night, you also got to count Infinity War.
Yes.
In that, yes, he will wear very thin.
Yes.
Even though that movie has a really good scene with him, it doesn't hold up with context.
Yeah.
Guardians 3, the final Guardians movie for most of this original lineup here. Excited to see they were revisiting Gamora after her return and disappearance after her exit in Infinity War, her return in Endgame, and subsequent disappearance. I'm glad that, we're kind of hitting the same, like, White Vision, like, you know me, but you don't know me, because I'm not the same, I'm technically different, ship of Theseus, stuff like that. So I'm glad we'll tackle that. High Evolutionary, played by the guy who plays Myrn in Peacemaker. I really liked him in that show, and I'm interested to see where we're gonna go with this character, mostly because I know some of his early comic stuff is like very tied to like the creation of like Wanda Maximoff and Quicksilver and Mount Wondergore and stuff that we kind of covered in Multiverse of Madness, but I'm sure that they're not gonna like do that here. I know he's more tied to like human or species kind of development and progression, and so we'll see like what kind of crazy stuff he's up to. Interesting to see that Gamora's leading and getting the Ravagers. I wonder if we'll revisit like Sylvester Stallone and Miley Cyrus and Michelle Yeoh with the original Guardians, especially that red guy who can do the magic stuff that I thought was like maybe he's gonna show up in Multiverse, but he didn't. What else? Rocket's backstory. Excited to see that. If you don't know me, I'm one of the 12 people who really enjoyed the Guardians of the Galaxy video game that came out not too long ago, and that didn't show you a lot of what happened with Rocket when he was like experimented on and stuff like that, but it told you a lot, and I thought that all that stuff was very interesting, and he's got a lot of fucked up shit that happened to him, like with the experiments, with the love of his life and escaping and stuff like that. Also, the return of Tall Groot, return of Big Groot. Hopefully this Groot's cool, because I said it earlier in the episode, I like Big Groot. I'm not a fan of Small Groot. And yeah, I mean, again, most of it in line for most of the Guardians here. James Gunn's gonna go back to doing like Peacemaker shit. So over there, because he killed it with Suicide Squad. I gotta rewatch that movie soon as well. And like, of course, Batista's not coming back, which, whatever. But yeah, I'm interested what they do after this, because obviously the Guardians need to change. And I want to see Adam Warlock. I want to see like, what does he look like? Like, I want to see that, because he's also in the Guardians game as well. A lot of similarities here. But yeah, I'm interested in Guardians 3. I like Guardians 1. I really like Guardians 2. And so Guardians 3, probably gonna knock it out of the park. We'll see how he does. Let's see what's next.
Echo is the next project in summer 2023. We don't know how many episodes this will be. I'm gonna presume 6.
Yeah, 6 is the safe bet.
I'm excited for this more than like. I mean, we'll definitely. There's no way we don't see Vincent D'Onofrio in this as Kingpin. I think he's shooting it right now. Whether Charlie Cox appears as Daredevil, I think, is more up in the air. I could see him not appearing in this, but
he's already in so much other stuff. I think having this be Daredevil free is understandable.
Yes. I would also, though, not put it past them to super duper build up to what we'll talk about in a little bit by having him appear like once a year before that. Because like No Way Home, She-Hulk, and then maybe one episode of this. If he's not in it, I'm kind of cool with that, and I kind of hope he isn't, because like I really don't like how many people are saying that they're only gonna watch Echo because Daredevil might be in it. That feels kind of a little like.
I understand that you're excited for that, but that shouldn't be the only reason you engage with a Marvel show is because it cameos one dude that you're excited for. Like, if you end up liking it because of that, then cool. I'm glad. If you shit on it and you just go, oh, Daredevil 0 out of 10, please stop.
Yeah.
Echo. I don't have a lot to say about Echo, actually. I didn't think she was super interesting in Hawkeye. And that's mostly because they announced the Echo show before Hawkeye even came out. So I was already like, well, she's free of danger. Nothing's going to happen to her because she has her own show. It's going to come out after this. So, there's really not much to do about it. Kingpin in Hawkeye wasn't super great either, but he was introduced in like episode 5. So he didn't have a lot of time to do what he needed to do. And I'm not the biggest Daredevil fan anyway, so if he shows up, I'll watch it just to see how it goes, but I don't have high hopes. What is next, Shawn?
The thing I'm more excited for, to be honest, also coming summer 2023, Loki season 2.
Yes,
we've heard 6 episodes.
Yes.
Now the actual credits for this are interesting to me. Directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. At least they're doing the majority of the episodes. They directed episodes of Moon Knight. Which
this has me very excited.
Has me very excited as well, and it's being written by Eric Martin, who wrote on season 1 but wasn't the head writer of season 1. The head writer of season 1, Michael Waldron, moved on to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and
which is understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even so, having somebody who's familiar with season 1 in the writing department is very comforting. I'm very excited to see the direction that Loki goes from here because there's a lot of potential in that. And I'm just hype.
And I feel like this, I know people are bitching and complaining, and I kind of understand it. Like, I'm not being totally derogatory with that, but I kind of understand you, but I think you are bitching and complaining. About like, it's directionless, like there's nothing going on or whatever. But like, if we do end up having it that like Kang appeared in Loki season 1, then we're gonna see him in Quantumania. I bet you he's in Loki season 2. Maybe in as small a role as he was in season 1, but I bet he's there again. Like,
odds are high that he'll show up given the consequences of the end of Loki season 1.
Yeah.
And given just the potential direction that season 2 could be headed. I say that, and realistically, we don't fucking know where Loki season 2 could be headed. Because of the fact that it's like multiversal insanity and things have sort of imploded on themselves. Regardless, I'm excited to see Tom Hiddleston back as Loki. He kills it every single time with whatever he's given. So,
yeah.
And I love dumb Kingdom Hearts bullshit, and Loki season 1 was that. So give me more in the MCU. Let's go.
That's true. I hope that wherever this show is leading, it is directly to a jet ski.
Please. At least one. At least one scene.
At least one, please.
Loki season 2. Very, 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 very excited for this. The ending of season 1 was nuts. I'm excited to see where's Sylvie gonna be. What's gonna happen with Loki, and the TVA has that big statue of Kang in it now. Now that He Who Remains is dead, there should be more versions of Kang coming around. What's gonna happen with Morbius? No, Yes, his name. No, his name is not Morbius. Don't know why I brought Morbius. What's gonna happen with Mobius? What's his name? Mobius and Mobius? Oh God, Morbius ruined my life. What's gonna happen with B-15 and like her implanted memories and all that stuff? But we don't know where it's going, right? I'm hoping we do see King again. But there's so much we could do across the entire timeline, across the new timelines. What's gonna happen in the TVA? Where's what's her name? It's not Ramona. It's Ramona Renslayer. Where Renslayer kind of fucked off at the end there. After she found out that she had been like, she's like a variant of like a fucking principal or whatever. In like some school in Michigan or whatever. So like what the fuck is going on, dude? I'm very excited. Will we get to see more Lokis, you know? I really liked Boastful Loki. I really liked Old Man Loki. I really like Kid Loki. Kid Loki's gotta come back for Young Avengers, right? He's got to. And Crocodile Loki and all that stuff that happened at the end of time. Miss Minutes, a scary motherfucker, you know? What is going to happen in Loki season 2? I'm very excited. I'm glad that we got confirmation on that. The second season 1 ended because I needed more. I'm very excited for the adventures of this Loki. What's next, Sean?
The next project, July 28th, 2023, The Marvels, directed by Nia DaCosta, who directed, I think, Candyman, the Candyman remake that came out a couple years ago that was very, very, very well regarded critically. A change from the last movie. The last movie was directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. I'm so excited for The Marvels. This is probably of the slate up there with like Quantumania for things I'm excited for, because like, first of all, I'm one of the few people that really, it seems, that really enjoyed the first Captain Marvel movie. 2, really loved Monica in WandaVision. And 3, really loved Kamala in Miss Marvel a lot. And so like, 3 characters I really enjoyed all teaming up together from a director that is probably one of the higher tier directors in the to be like grabbed for an MCU movie. That all works for me. How do you feel about The Marvels?
I enjoyed Captain Marvel well enough when it came out. I think the main issue with Captain Marvel was not the movie itself, but like when they decided to just drop it on us. Mm-hmm. So it was an unfortunate victim of that. Regardless, I have fun with it. I like Captain Marvel as a character. Fucking love Monica. I have not seen Kamala Khan yet, but I respect her. I need to just take a weekend, sit down, watch all the episodes of Miss Marvel on Disney Plus. Because up to this point, I've had the unfortunate trend of starting Disney Plus shows 4 episodes into their run. Always 4 episodes for some reason, where my mom's just like, hey, this is out, you want to watch it? And I'm like, it's not fully out yet. And she's like, no, let's try it though. And then we get addicted, and then we're like, God damn it, we keep having to do this. We keep doing this waiting game. So now that it's all out, I'm going to binge. I'm probably going to enjoy it because I like Kamala Khan as a character in other media. So I'm also excited.
The Marvels. Let's see here. I'm a little bit excited for this. I thought the first movie for Captain Marvel was okay. I think she's a cool character, but they really hammered in the like men are bad kind of thing, and that's not to say that men aren't bad, because trust me, we fucking are. But like, I feel like I remember watching it one day. I remember seeing the same clip of that guy in the bar who's like, well, you know why they call it a cockpit, huh? Like, oh my god. We get it. Like, we get it, right? Either way, interested to see where she goes from here, especially after, you know, we've seen her in Infinity War. No, we saw her in Endgame. We see her in Shang-Chi. Which I feel like has Shang-Chi's gonna have strong connections to the Marvels, actually. Given that the Ten Rings logo appears in the chamber where they find the bangle in Miss Marvel, which means the Ten Rings, and in the especially with Carol investigating the signal that the rings gave out at the end of Shang-Chi. So the rings might be Kree-tech, that's all I'm saying. Shang-Chi might not show up, but we're gonna tie this Kree stuff back to Shang-Chi. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see Monica after what happened in WandaVision, and we haven't seen her since. And I'm excited to see what she does now as, as a person with powers. And I want to know, I want to see her do something, right? I always thought it was weird that in Multiverse of Madness, we get to see her mom be the Captain Marvel before we even see, Monica do anything for real. And so I'm glad to see Monica. I really liked Miss Marvel in Miss Marvel, even though the Miss Marvel show kind of staggers in the middle. Miss Marvel has some pacing issues that I think are really prevalent, as well as I feel like every single character has to hammer home these life lessons into Kamala, which I think is a little unnecessary, but whatever. Other than that, the Marvels could be pretty fire. I don't know though. Fans are probably gonna hate it. What's next, Sean?
A movie that a lot of people are very excited for. Blade, November 3rd, 2023.
Yeah.
I am excited for this movie. Here's the thing, guys. I've never seen the Wesley Snipes Blade movies.
Okay. Thank God I'm not the only one.
Okay, cool. I'm kind of vampired out a little bit.
I'm a sucker for vampire media done well that
Yeah.
is willing to poke fun a little bit. So I don't mind this. I think tonally, if you do it well, even people who are just exhausted of vampires could still have fun.
I mean,
So.
it's Mahershala Ali. That's really the reason I'm excited for this. Is
Yeah.
not because of the character of Blade or I'm not familiar with the talent attached to it behind the camera. But when you get Mahershala Ali, yeah, okay, I'm in. Whatever you want to feed to me, I'll watch it.
I'm gonna reserve judgment until we start getting trailers or even just a teaser. But I'm gonna mark this down as cautiously optimistic.
I like it
at the moment.
Blade. I can't believe that I'm the only one in this podcast that has seen the Blade movies. Blade Trinity. I'm not gonna say they're good movies, but they're entertaining, right? Now this Blade, I'm a little more excited for. I'm not familiar with Mahershala Ali, but I'm just excited for the concept of Blade. I want to see Dracula. Rumor has it that Anthony Starr might be playing Dracula. I don't think that's a true rumor, but I've been watching The Boys, and I love Anthony Starr as Homelander, so maybe we can get some Dracula in there if he's not too busy filming, The Boys. And of course, we got our first tease of Blade forever ago. The announcement of this movie. But we did get our first listening of Blade at the end of Eternals, stopping Dane Whitman. So we might get some Dane Whitman in here as Black Knight. See what's going on with that. Yeah, I'm really excited to get more into the spooky supernatural side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Lord knows that we've kind of done a lot of cosmic shit. We're leaning into multiverse. Let's get that spooky supernatural shit into the MCU. I'm ready to see Blade.
Ironheart, fall 2023, 6 episodes. Oh,
fuck yeah!
I wish I had more to say about this, but I really don't. I'm just happy that it's filming right now and it's gonna be a thing that happens.
Excited.
Very excited.
That's all I have to say. Excited.
Ironheart, Riri Williams. Let's get it. I'm ready. Let's get some more armor people in here. Let's introduce. Let's bring back AIM. Let's fucking get Rhodey in this bitch. let's I'm not a big fan of Gwyneth Paltrow right now. But let's get Rescue in this bitch. What's Morgan up to? Probably not old enough to pilot any Star Tech. What's happening with Armor Wars? Is more what I want to know. What the fuck's happening with Armor Wars? Other than that, very excited for Ironheart. I want to see more of this character. I like the armor characters. I hate to say it. I'm a Kamen Rider bitch, you know? Whatever. What's next, Sean?
Agatha, the Agatha show got a rename. It was House of Harkness. It is now Coven of Chaos.
I don't know. I think House of Harkness just is a better name for me personally.
I agree. Especially it sounds like from all the reports that this is going to be like kind of a dark comedy, which House of Harkness I think is a little goofier than Coven of Chaos. But I still like the alliteration. I respect that.
Respect to the people who come up with good alliteration in titles. You're doing good work.
Yeah, good job. We're proud of you. Premiering winter 2023, 2024, somewhere around there. What's interesting about this, head writer Jack Schaefer, who is the head writer on WandaVision.
Yeah, so this will be a take on the character that is faithful. At the very least.
Boom! I wonder what you're talking about. I wonder what that could possibly be in reference to. I'm very excited to see good continuity following up from WandaVision for the first time.
Yeah. All right.
No, I'm kidding. I won't make everybody stop listening, I promise. I hope what is this show gonna be? Really, I'm interested in it because I don't have any idea. Like, it's not just gonna be about Agatha for 6 hours, right? Like,
I'm sort of just neutral on it. Like, this didn't need to be made, but if you're gonna give it to us anyway, at the very least, Catherine Hahn's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah.
So there is that.
See, people keep saying that this show doesn't need to be made, and I agree with them. It doesn't need to be made, but I can't really think of another instance where the MCU has done something like a big thing, like a series or a movie that didn't like serve a purpose in some way. So like, I feel like there's gotta be something.
Actually,
okay.
No, fuck. If they've renamed this to Coven of Chaos and they're focusing back on Agatha, given how it feels like Wanda's story is almost done in the main MCU, consider this. This is where we set up Mephisto, potentially.
God damn, shut the fuck up.
This is where we get that
Shut
proper
the
setup.
fuck up.
Hey, listen, I don't want to get myself excited either, but it just fucking occurred to me.
I think there's got to be something. I think that they're gonna pull some shit out for this show that is gonna surprise us, and we're gonna go. But you know what? Actually, what if this entire show is Jack Schaefer being like, man, I should have done Mephisto, and now she's like, all right, here's Mephisto. We're gonna do it in the Agatha show.
Hey, what if they license the song from Cats about the magical Mr. Mistopheles, but they change it to be Mephisto?
Yeah.
Oh, I just hyped myself up for this show now for no fucking reason. Why do I do this?
Yeah. I have enough faith still in Marvel that I feel like there has to be a reason that this exists beyond just people really liked Agatha. But I mean, maybe they'll prove me wrong. Maybe this will be the project where I finally am like, why the fuck are they greenlighting some of this shit? You know, like,
yeah, because just looking at it, like, Blade is the first where you can be like, all right, calm down. But also, it's reviving Blade, which is something people have wanted.
Yeah.
Especially because those Blade movies are well liked from what I know and from the people that I talk to. So they can't be doing it for no reason.
Yeah.
They can't just be doing this to make an Agatha show because Agatha was popular. There has to be something else. The stuff that they greenlight just because it's popular and interesting is the animated stuff more often than not. So, however this ties in, I am going to try to temper my expectations, but that's really fucking hard now that I've said what I said. It's in my brain. It's not going to leave.
Okay, Agatha, Coven of Chaos. Just like them, I had no fucking idea what this show's going to be about. And honestly, they announced it pretty soon after WandaVision, and I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know if we really need an Agatha show. I mean, she was cool. And she's kind of like in reserve. And I kind of thought she'd show up in Multiverse of Madness if one of them was going to be there, but she didn't. Because the writer for that movie just... everyone involved in the movie really screwed the pooch on Multiverse of Madness. I'm trying to pretend like they didn't, okay? I'm just going to say it. Movie's kind of fucking awful. Anyways... so I mean, who knows what they're doing with her? Maybe she'll do some creepy magic necromancy shit. Maybe they will do Mephisto, like Shibuya suggested. Who knows? Maybe we can get what, Blackheart. What's his name? His Mephisto's son as well. Ghost Rider. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But really hope it's not for no reason other than she was popular. Remember when fucking Agatha All Along first dropped in the show? People would not shut the fuck up about Agatha All Along. It was so goddamn annoying. But, I mean, Catherine Hahn, really good. I just saw her again in Parks and Rec. She's really good there. Hopefully she continues to kill it. Hopefully the show isn't a waste of time. What's next, Sean?
Speaking of tempering expectations.
Yeah.
Oh, Daredevil Born Again, spring 2024, with 18 episodes.
Oh, let's go, baby!
What? Okay, so first of all, Daredevil Born Again, I screamed very loudly.
Understandable.
When, because I wasn't expecting an official announcement yet.
Yeah.
Very excited. Vincent D'Onofrio returning. Charlie Cox returning, obviously. We'll see who else returns, but I bet it's gonna be a lot of people.
Hopefully, because that cast so good.
Now here's the tough question that I've started to think about as we've gotten further away from the announcement.
Okay.
I'm looking at that 18 episode number, and I'm going, sometimes Daredevil felt a little long at 13. You know, like season 2 felt like it went on a little long, and that was 13 episodes.
Well, here's the thing also. Daredevil on Netflix was longer episodes,
yeah, this
right?
is not
going to
be
about 40
long.
minutes.
I think Daredevil was like 50. I think it was hour-long episodes.
Yeah. So I think some of those pacing issues might be alleviated with a shorter runtime. And the Born Again subtitle has me curious whether they'll do like a very basic retread or whether it's like, no, we're reintroducing him in the MCU proper. So origin story part 2, because I will be exhausted if we have to do that again.
I really hope it's not that again.
The other show still exists and is still accessible. We don't need this. The name Born Again has me concerned.
I do not think it's going to be that, because this is based off from the She-Hulk trailer. When we see him in the She-Hulk trailer, he's in the costume from the Netflix series, but with like yellow accents, like in the comics.
Okay.
So he's at least suited up already. And like we saw him catch a brick in No Way Home.
Yeah. Well, listen, even before like the first season of Netflix Daredevil, if I recall correctly, he still was very well aware of what he could and couldn't do physically. True. Like even if he hadn't officially taken up the mantle or like put on a good suit.
Now,
so
to temper expectations, well, not to temper expectations, to do the opposite of that, but I need to remember to temper expectations. What if that Born Again subtitle isn't just talking about Daredevil? What if it's 18 episodes because you got a lot of characters you need to introduce? What if we bring back fucking Jessica Jones in this? What if we bring back Luke Cage?
Please stop.
What if we don't bring back Iron Fist?
What if we keep Iron Fist in the ground? Please. Please don't get me excited for the potential of more Jessica Jones, because I love Jessica Jones. I don't need to be disappointed by no Jessica Jones.
But like, why else would it be 18 episodes? Like, there's gotta be something to this show.
Hey, tempering expectations a little bit.
Yeah.
What if the subtitle is a reference to the fact that his family was very much Catholic, and so he just finds his faith, so he is a born-again man?
And that's definitely what it is, and I mean, like...
that's the obvious illusion, I understand, but like, what if they go full literal with it?
Which Born Again is a very popular Daredevil comic book storyline. And I mean, they already did the Born Again storyline in Daredevil season 3, but like again, maybe they'll do it again because this is the MCU like proper. And also, I think Born Again is like one of those cheeky subtitles that they did with like Spider-Man, with Spider-Man Homecoming, where it's
Homecoming
is kind of like, even if it's not referring to like the entire Defenders minus Iron Fist, it is
the wink nudge nudge, hey, we get ya,
Daredevil's back, you know. I hope we see. It's not gonna happen. I won't be mad if it doesn't happen because like they're not promising it to me. But I hope we see Daredevil. I hope we see Jessica Jones. I hope we see Luke Cage. I hope we don't see Iron Fist. Dear God, please. I don't want to see Iron Fist.
Man,
I don't have a lot to say about Daredevil Born Again because again, I'm not a huge Daredevil fan. I watched the movie. I haven't watched shitty ass Elektra. That movie's fucking terrible. But who knows what it means, you know? They could retell the story, properly introduce them, maybe a couple of flashbacks. Or they could just continue off from the Netflix series. I didn't watch that, so I'd be a little left out, but who gives a fuck, really? But it is long. 18 episodes. It's a crazy amount. And sure, they could introduce the other Defenders. I mean, why not just go ahead and bring them in? Especially because they've like brought all that stuff to Disney Plus. They changed a name of like Jessica Jones or something. It was like AKA Jessica Jones or something like that. I don't know what this. I don't remember the exact news. But also, I don't know why Shawn's pretending like he doesn't like Danny Rand Iron Fist, because like when I talk to him in private, it's kind of like the only thing he talks about is Iron Fist, and I'm like, bro, you gotta shut the fuck up about Iron Fist. But he just keeps going and going and going. He's like spitting out all these facts and like showing me, like, he's not even talking about the comics Iron Fist, which I think is pretty cool in most iterations. He's talking about Netflix Iron Fist, like the weirdest one of them all, right? Either way, Shawn's being kind of contradictory here, maybe for the public view, but I'm gonna show you how it is. But what's next, Shawn? Hit us with the hype news.
May 3rd, 2024, Captain America: New World Order. The interesting thing here, written by Malcolm Spellman and Dallin Musan. Malcolm Spellman wrote on Falcon and Winter Soldier. So we're gonna have some continuity.
Hell yeah!
Very excited for that movie. I don't really know what it could be about. Maybe they'll bring back the dude from Falcon and Winter Soldier that's his sidekick, but we didn't really see a lot of him. He's Falcon in the comics at some point. I can't remember. His name.
Yeah. I also do not remember his name. I know who you're talking about. I don't know that that's entirely necessary. I think you could just bring back Bucky again,
Torres,
in at least some capacity. Okay.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. I'd like to see Bucky again.
Yeah, even if it's not in as great a capacity due to either contractual shit or just because, you know, Bucky's arc is kind of like winding down. This man is tired and traumatized. And like, even if he's just like a guy in the chair who's just like giving him advice on shit, that could be cool.
All right, this is probably my most excited project that's been announced. More Sam Wilson as Captain America. I love his suit. I love how he uses the shield. I want to see more of that shit. And I'm with Shawn, or I guess I want to see Torres. I want to see Torres as Falcon. I think they set it up pretty okay. Like we kind of don't see him, but we see that he's good with technology. And like the first episode, we see that he's willing to go out there and, you know, get the information when he confronts the fucking Flag Smasher and get his face stomped. We see that he's you know, good with info just in general. And by the end, Sam has let him keep his old wings, and we see him working on that during Sam's speech and shit. So I want to see more Torres as Falcon, because someone has to be Falcon, and if it's Torres, That's pretty cool, especially because in the comics, you know, he is Falcon. When Sam takes over for Captain America, I don't know who the villain's gonna be. New World Order, is a pretty cool name. And I'm just excited. Maybe we see Bucky, you know, a small cameo from Bucky. But yeah. I want to see more of this. I want to see more of Sam as Captain America. Put him in everything. Put him in fucking Agatha. Put him in Guardians. Put his ass everywhere. All right, that's all I want. What's next, Sean?
Finishing out Phase 5, July 26th, 2024, literally less than a year from, or no, it's 2 years from now. Okay, less than 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Still, it's not very. Oh, Phase 5 is going to be like a year and a half, and that's crazy. Which I guess.
It's a little insane.
Yeah. Thunderbolts. Being written by Eric Pearson, who also, I believe, wrote Black Widow. Yeah, he wrote Black Widow. He also co-wrote on Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
Okay. But it sounds like we're definitely following some stuff up on the kind of Black Widow, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Hawkeye storyline with Valentina that's going on. So
yeah,
there's your Thunderbolts. I really have no idea what that movie's gonna look like, to be honest.
Given the base premise of it, it seems like it could be interesting. I think it's. I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna say it. It seems like an odd choice to make Thunderbolts a full-fledged movie, as opposed to just, like, a Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
Because that seems like the sort of format, especially given where a lot of these guys will have originated from, that could just work really well and that you could, like, fully advertise on there as a show.
I mean, conversely, this could be like the whole thing they've been talking about, how the movie show crossover is supposed to work, where you introduce a bunch of bad guys in the show and then put them in a movie together. Like,
I mean, yes, but also that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Feels cheap isn't the right word,
Yeah.
but I just don't like the vibes on that.
I'm very, I don't know what's gonna, I have no idea what this movie's gonna be, but I bet it's gonna be big and explosive and loud because it's the end of Phase 5.
And yeah, I would fucking hope so.
All right, Thunderbolts. I'm actually very excited about Thunderbolts for a multitude of reasons. One, this is basically Dark Avengers or Suicide Squad kind of thing. So people who are like, "There's no Avengers movie in the Phase," this is it. This is your Avengers movie. And we get a bunch of bad guys teaming up under the leadership of one Valentina, played by Louise Dreyfus. So yeah, well, of course we're gonna get Yelena. We're gonna get probably Zemo. We're gonna get probably fucking we're definitely gonna get US Agent. But the Thunderbolts is such an elusive team, right? We could get anyone from, like, Hawkeye was in the Thunderbolts at some point. Fucking Spider-Man was in the Thunderbolts. Who else is like a villain, right? We can get anyone. Maybe Namor join the Thunderbolts. Like anyone who's like just kind of a Bucky could join Thunderbolts. I mean that seems kind of redundant given US Agent. But I'm excited. I want to see what the team is. I want to see a trailer. I want to see what's going on. I'm not as down on it as the others, I guess. I'm very excited to see exactly what we have going on here. The most interesting thing to me is going to be the lineup, right? And at some point, Valentina and Fury have to cross, right? Unfortunately, the Thunderbolts won't include Red Hulk or Thunderbolt Ross. We could probably get Abomination if we try our best. Maybe Wong. Wong's got to show up some more, right? I don't think Phase Wong is done yet. But either way, that is the Thunderbolts, and that is the end of Phase 5. What is going to happen in Phase 6, Shawn and Shibuya?
All right, Shibuya, you wanna run us through the very limited things we know about Phase 6?
All right, so Phase 6. They brought up their funky little timeline on the big screen, and we got images of that timeline, and we have as follows: Fall 2024. Fantastic Four, November 8th.
Oh my God, it's happening. And I just read today, I read in an interview with Kevin Feige, they are not doing the origin story.
Oh,
He said,
let's go!
He said, people already know the origin story, which actually, Kevin, I don't know that they do. I know that the movie has been done multiple times, but I don't know that, like, people actually know the origin story like they know Spider-Man's origin story.
You know, bro, you know what they can do? You know what they can just do? Opening credits, montage, newspaper clippings.
It's really easy. It's a very simple origin story.
Interviews. Just, it's not that hard. Weird radiation turned them into freaks.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like, if you really need to introduce people to the origin story, you do the opening credits, you take advantage of that, and then you have them beating up a bad guy, locking him up in jail, and it's like, thank God for the Fantastic Four, and then people are cheering, and it's like, yeah, we get it, we know. All right, move on.
I'm so excited for this movie. I really hope they do it right. Not that I have any reason to, like, believe that they will, because
if there's any studio that I think we can trust to do Fantastic Four well, I think it is in fact Marvel.
You're absolutely right. I'm curious if we're not doing the origin story that maybe we introduce them a little bit earlier, like maybe in like a post-credit scene or something, you know.
I mean, inevitably they're going to be in a post-credit scene for something as a tease. Yeah. And while I would hope it's not Thunderbolts, you know, given that that's the thing that's like right before it, odds are potentially.
What if that movie is them beating the shit out of the Fantastic Four?
No. What if the entire movie is them like managing to take on little guys in the city? They fight these little heroes, and then the post-credit scene is at least two of them getting arrested and getting their asses beat, and it's because the Fantastic Four showed up, and it's like, they're no match for these bitches, and then that's the tease. Congratulations.
Yeah. And I mean, this is a pretty massive title, so I'm sure that nothing within the next year of it will be as big or bigger, right?
Yeah, they'll give it some room to breathe, considering, you know, it is the return of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. They wouldn't put anything crazy right before or after it.
Yeah. So.
Okay, Fantastic Four. I like the Fantastic Four well enough. I enjoyed like the first movie with fucking Chris Evans as fucking Johnny Storm, Jessica Alba as Invisible Woman, and then Thing and Reed. But then, you know, they kind of fell off, especially with like Right Stuff, and they kind of got phased out of Marvel, and then they're back, and all kinds of weird shit. You know how petty people can be with licenses and whatnot. But this movie could be good. If I trust anyone to make a good Fantastic Four movie, it's gotta be Marvel Studios, right? I mean, by then, we'll know, right? I wonder who they're casting. I don't think it's gonna be John Krasinski as Reed, but we don't know. And if they're not doing the origin story, I wonder. I mean, again, their origin story isn't very complex. It's, hey, these 4 people go to space, they get some weird space radiation shit. Guess what? Now they're fucking superpowered people, and they gotta deal with that. It's not that complicated. It's not something we have to spend 15 minutes in a movie for, right? But I do hope they show up before then, especially if we gotta build up Doom beforehand as well, right? Because, you know, we're gonna get the Secret War. The Secret War kind of has Doom in it, as well as Kang, I think. I don't remember, but Doom's definitely there. So, yeah, excited for the Fantastic Four in Phase 6. What is next, Shibuya?
Beyond that, we have a Fall 2024 movie, a Winter 2024 movie,
or show,
and then, or show. Okay, I'll change it from movie to like project.
Yeah.
Winter 2024 project going into Winter 2025 project. Presumably two different things,
Yeah.
so maybe like a movie and then a TV show, but we don't know yet. Two projects in spring 2025 that are unannounced, and then also in the middle of that, Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, May 2nd, 2025.
Oh my god.
Yo!
6 months after. Pretty much 6 months after. A little
Almost on the dot,
Yeah.
because it is within
Yeah.
like 6 days of being exactly 6 months.
Yeah.
I love May Avengers releases. It's really good.
Yeah, they'd
It's
never
really
change
good,
that,
and-
right? It's always May.
Well, no, May, because May is like the big summer bucks.
Yeah.
It's when people are like getting out of school and when people are getting hyped up for the holiday. So like, of course you have a big Avengers movie.
Yeah, they'll
That makes
always
sense.
only do Avengers movies in May.
Fuck off.
Directed
But
by
yeah, directed-
Oh, yes. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all good. Directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. Very excited. Very
Oh.
excited. Because the name alone, it's gotta be it. They've gotta just not be naming it Young Avengers, because if they named it Young Avengers, that would turn off moviegoers. But fucking hell, this has gotta be it.
Oh my god,
This has to be like their
Oh my
first
God.
big storyline, dude.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. You're
Dude, how
Oh,
did you
you're
not
gonna
think
be
about
right.
that Iron Lad? Dude!
Because my thought process was that this was going to be a smaller, like, especially since they got the director of Shang-Chi to do it, that it would going to be like kind of a small, like, they're going to fight Kang in this one and they're going to deal with Kang in this movie is kind of what I was thinking was going to happen. But if the Young Avengers are in this, that'd be pretty badass.
Have you forgotten the literal first Young Avengers
know
story?
I know, but at the same time, I've
they've
kind of given
literally-
up on them doing that storyline.
No! As soon as they set up Kang, I knew it was happening that exact way. So, they've literally set up every single bullet point going down that list that they needed to do that specific story. And I think Kang Dynasty, specifically the fact that it's called Kang Dynasty,
That's true.
think about that storyline. It works
It does.
perfectly.
It does.
And who better to deal with Kang than fucking Kang himself?
No. Or, we'll get a little bit further through this Phase 6 slate, and I will tell you I have some ideas as well.
All right. I'm excited to hear what those ideas are.
Avengers Kang Dynasty. Now, I don't know a lot about Kang storylines. I know he showed up for a mere minute in like Spider-Verse or something. And I know a little bit about Nathaniel Richards and Iron Lad. But I think Shibuya has a good point here. This could be the secret Young Avengers movie. And that would make a lot of sense given, the next stated movie we have. And I mean, they've set it up. We've got Billy and Tommy. We've got to get them back. We can get them older, get them into the Young Avengers, Wiccan and Speed. We have Patriot in the ready of Eli Bradley. Eli Bradley was in Falcon Winter Soldier. Kate Bishop is around. We could add Ms. Marvel if we want to. We gotta get Hulkling in there somewhere. And of course, like you said, who better to take care of Kang than Kang, Iron Lad? Let's get all these pieces into place. And especially with all of these unannounced projects between Fantastic Four and Kang Dynasty, we could do it. We could get the Young Avengers in here. And I think that's very, very exciting. But other than that, I have no idea. But Kang Dynasty, I'm excited. Especially because, again, more fucking Jonathan Majors. He's gonna kill it. I'm excited. What's next, Shibuya?
So, after Avengers Kang Dynasty, we have two summer 2025 projects. More than likely, I would assume both of those are like either concurrent shows or smaller projects, because after a big Avengers movie, in summer, what the fuck do? You do
Ant-Man and the Wasp, apparently. Or
I mean-
Far From Home, to be fair.
Yeah, or fucking Captain Marvel in between two Avengers movies that made everybody say that it was shit.
Yeah.
So, those two projects, and then November 7th, 2025, fucking Avengers Secret Wars.
Bro, in a year, in less than a year.
Yeah, this
Fantastic Four.
This means that it's gotta be a 2-part thing.
Yes. So Fantastic Four, Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, and Avengers: Secret Wars in less than literally like almost a year on the dot.
One day off of being exactly a year, because Fantastic Four is November 8th, 24. Secret Wars is November 7th, 25.
What is very interesting about all of this is that the report was that Destin Daniel Cretton is doing the Kang Dynasty. It did not say that he was doing Secret Wars. I think a different director is going to do Secret Wars because the Russo brothers were on IVs because of exhaustion from releasing 2 Avengers movies a year apart. So
this does not shock me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Those Avengers movies are massive undertakings in like every sense. So please don't overwork your fucking staff.
I would guess that this Secret Wars is going to be done by a different director in order to kind of lighten the load. And this is why I think, like, going way back to what I was talking about with Black Panther.
Yeah.
I think what is going to happen is I think the Kang Dynasty is going to be kind of a smaller scale Avengers movie with a kind of smaller team. I don't think it's going to be everybody. I mean, I really hope you're right that the Young Avengers will be pretty heavily involved, but I was thinking like it would be like Shang-Chi leading like a team of like She-Hulk and like some of the new members or whatever. And they'd fight Kang, beat Kang. Maybe Doctor Doom gives him a hand to beat Kang. And then Doctor Doom causes...
And then Doctor Doom becomes a problem.
And then Doctor Doom causes Secret Wars. And that is... Doctor Doom is the villain of Avengers. This will be 6 Secret Wars. I don't think this is going to be a Thanos situation where we had 2 movies back to back where they fought them, where like they lost the first one and then they have to fight him again in the second one. Like, I think, first of all, I think people are probably going to be expecting that. And so I think it would be more likely that they would try to subvert that. And so I do think they're going to beat Kang in
Kang Dynasty.
And Secret Wars will be Doctor Doom. And maybe they get a different version of Kang to help them in Secret Wars against Doctor Doom. Like maybe Kang continues to be around, but
like only the Kang who has like effectively ensured that he can't fuck shit up anymore.
Yeah. Like I do not think that the big villain of this saga is going to end up being Kang. I think he will be one of them, but I think the penultimate or the penultimate villain. But I think the big finale for the multiverse saga will be Doom, and I think that's why they're going to set him up in the post credits for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
I could understand that. I also just think given that this movie is called Secret Wars, given that Secret Invasion is only 6 episodes, not a confirmed season 2, and that they might leave it on a little bit of a cliffhanger, at least from what I'm thinking. I think Kang Dynasty, you start to potentially bring some Young Avengers together to try and deal with Kang. Mm-hmm. Kang ultimately deals with himself in a way that feels satisfying and wraps things up. Maybe Doctor Doom comes in to help and then betrays them. But I think Secret Wars is where you bring like another interdimensional sort of threat or like a galactic threat. And I think that is where you have like the Skrulls invading Earth, looking for a lost prince. And I think that's a good Teddy movie right there. Listen, I can fucking dream. Listen,
I think it'd be a great movie.
You're setting up Skrulls.
Right.
I think if Skrulls have been undercover on the planet looking for this kid, I think the post credits of Kang Dynasty could be the Skrulls like just knocking on the door of an apartment, seeing a kid, and then just like faking to be a salesman or something, and then you see a communicator, and it's like, we found the prince.
That'd be very
and then
funny.
It just cuts to black.
God, I want to see a fake salesman Skrull.
I want it so bad. Literally, also because Fantastic Four is within a year of this, I think the Skrulls becoming important is a good idea.
Yeah, no, you're right. My theory is they're gonna beat the shit out of Kang. Doctor Doom's gonna come in and be like, mine, and become a big problem
in those exact words.
Yeah, like just like that. They actually cast me as Doctor Doom. I will
Holy
be playing
shit,
the role.
Sean! Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. I thought the NDA would require that you not say that.
We can't. No.
They're gonna arrive to my home and lock me up for the next 2
Why
years.
is somebody
Thanks,
knocking
bud.
at my front door? No, but I think it's gonna end with like, I don't really think this is gonna end like this, but I think it'd be awesome if it ended like this. Fucking,
It's our ideal
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
that we're basically just spouting out nonsense headcanon.
I don't even know if this would be an ideal movie because I think this would be a bad way to end the movie, but it would be hype. Is like Doctor Doom does his shit, an incursion happens, like a fucking another planet is in the sky, and then you see fucking John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, Patrick Stewart as Professor X, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, fucking, you just see a who's who, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. You just see a lineup, an Avengers lineup that is a who's who of like old actors. Maybe you see either Robert Downey Jr. again as Iron Man, or maybe you bring in Tom Cruise at this point for Iron Man. But you see an alternate Avengers movie or team come down and be like, sorry, it's you or us, and we pick us. And like that's where it ends. Like, and this alternate team of Avengers is about to fuck this world up. Like, because that's what Secret Wars is about. At least that is what a version of Secret Wars is about in comics, that it seems like they're going to be adapting, since they're doing the incursions thing, which is like another planet appears in the sky and you got to choose which one gets to stay because they can't both stay there. You know, like it doesn't work like that. They will destroy each other if they both stay there. So one's got to go. And I mean, one of those projects in summer 2025 could be like a Battle World show, like with where all these worlds are colliding with each other and like you get random one-off things happening. I think who knows? The Secret Wars is such a big idea. Who knows what it'll actually be? I think the reason we're getting to it so quickly is probably because we're gonna get actors back and they want to get to it before they get too old. You know? Like I think
I could potentially see that.
I think they want to get Patrick Stewart back. I think they want to get Robert Downey Jr. back. They want to get Hugh Jackman.
Well, Robert Downey Jr. The problem is he would be way too expensive.
But they will back the money up to have him appear in Secret Wars, like even if not for long, but like for a role. I mean, maybe he wouldn't do it. Maybe he'd just say no because he seems very adamant about like,
I mean,
I'm done.
There's already going to be the issue with me of like Ironheart, where that whole story involves her.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, under the guidance of Tony's hologram, which is a thing that exists and we know of. And of course he would have made an AI of himself. It's fucking Tony Stark. So like, plausible but unlikely is my bet on that.
Or Tom Cruise finally shows up as I really fucking hope he doesn't.
If Tom Cruise shows up as Iron Man, I'm gonna roll my eyes into the back of my skull.
I really hope he's not in it. Please no.
Yeah, I saw those rumors floating around and I was like, I get it, but I don't want it.
Yeah, no.
Stop.
No.
And I was
so curious.
Very happy when they didn't do it.
Yes, me too. I'm just so curious about what this will end up being. I will say, we do know some release dates for movies because Disney has to plant those flags so far in advance. I believe that winter 2025 movie is a February release date movie, if off the top of my head.
Not shocking. Yeah.
And I believe one of those summer 2025 projects is a July release movie. If I'm
2 months after an Avengers movie, that seems a little bit odd.
I saw a crazy person say that Dustin Daniel Cretton will direct both the Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars, and Shang-Chi 2 in between them. And I went, you want this man to die?
You're smoking crack.
Yeah, no fucking way. I don't think it's even possible for him to do both Avengers movies and for them to release 6 months apart.
No, the only way it's possible for him to do 2 Avengers movies is if you film those bitches concurrently, which they would more than likely not, considering that they have to do some on-location shots, like in various places, because an Avengers threat is going to be like global scale, so you get multiple big cities or whatever.
Yeah. There was also a movie in February 2024 that we have a release date for, but nothing was announced for it. I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably Deadpool 3.
It wouldn't shock me.
Sounds like they're getting pretty much ready. I think they've got a script. Everybody seems pretty ready to do it. I I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't announce it at San Diego Comic-Con, especially since they just put Deadpool on Disney Plus the day before. But I think that February, they're bringing it back to Valentine's Day. We'll have another Valentine's
I
Day
think this one
sequence.
they wanted to be like the big new phase Avengers panel. So if one of those is a Deadpool 3, then I think more than likely, I doubt we're going to see it at D23, but I think next year is likely we'll see like a formal announcement and maybe a public like just teaser for it. Not even a trailer, just a little tease like the initial Deadpool tease that got leaked that is still really fucking
That was
good.
definitely leaked by like Ryan Reynolds or somebody on that team.
It's one of like 5 people and nobody knows who to sue.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking funny, but also thank you for your service, whoever you are.
Yeah.
I don't think you're listening to this, but you are a goddamn hero.
Yeah. I think it'd be so funny if Ryan Reynolds comes out as Deadpool at San Diego Comic-Con next year and is like, what about me, Kevin? Do I get a movie? Like, you know, like,
the best part is he fucking would.
Yeah.
He absolutely would. He would pitch that to Kevin Feige, and Kevin Feige would probably just like sigh and go, fine. And then everybody would eat that shit up, and he would be like, who fucking knew? And Ryan would be like, I did, motherfucker.
All right, let's talk about Secret Wars. Secret Wars is a crazy thing. Lots can happen. Doom has to be involved. I feel like, isn't Secret Wars also where like Spider-Man gets the fucking symbiote? I mean, we know symbiote was left behind in No Way Home, but you know, anything could happen. Of course, we could have a bunch of actors show up. Incursions are a thing that was introduced in Phase 4. Secret Wars is gonna be crazy, and I can't wait to see how we get there. You know, I can't wait to see how we get there, especially after King Dynasty, whatever the 2 movies or 2 things in between that and Secret Wars is. I want Tom Cruise. I don't care what these fuckers say, dude. Tom Cruise as Iron Man better show the fuck up. You know, he wasn't in Multiverse of Madness, and guess what? That movie was fucking terrible, because you know who wasn't in it? Tom Cruise. We need the Cruise Master in the MCU as superior Iron Man. I want it. I need it, okay? 2, Battle World. We gotta get Battle World. Battle World, okay? Battle World. Let's talk about what's left. What's left, guys? I don't know. Tell me.
and you all may be wondering now that we've gotten to the end of this, Shibuya, Shawn, why are we not getting an Avengers movie until 2025? Why we're going to go through the entire multiverse saga without an Avengers movie until the very end? Well, somebody asked Kevin Feige about that at San Diego Comic-Con, and he said that they, after Endgame, have shifted, at least for this saga, to viewing Avengers movies as saga cappers and not phase cappers. So I guess we'll see how the reception to that is, but it seems like right now their plan is for there to not be an Avengers movie in every phase, and instead for there to be one at the end of each saga, which makes sense when your phases are only going to be lasting a year to a year and a half.
It makes perfect sense. I understand why they're doing it. I think public reception on that is going to be very harsh initially, at the very least, because we are so spoiled in how many Avengers movies we got within the span of like 4 or 5 years. So it's going to take time to adjust from that model to this one. But I think in the end, it's going to be a little bit better for individual character development.
I agree. And I think we're still going to get massive phase enders. I think Wakanda Forever looks like a massive movie. I mean, we're introducing Namor. It looks like he's still a mutant. He's got his little winged feet, which is not a thing of the rest of the Talocans in the trailer. So it looks like he's still a mutant. So we'll be continuing that little storyline. People pointed out obviously that it doesn't look like there's any X-Men movies in between now and the end of Secret Wars. A rumor came out recently that I do not believe that says that the Fox contracts with the new class of X-Men, like the James McAvoy, Sophie Turners, like them, states that they can't use the characters but not use the actors. And so that they can't use those characters with like new actors until 2025, and that's why we're not getting an X-Men movie. I don't believe that because that's ridiculous. I don't know
That's
any
complete
studio
bullshit. And also why
that would sign that.
why the fuck wouldn't they bring back those actors, given that First Class, Days of Future Past, those are some of the most beloved movies in the X-Men series that came out in years at that point. I fucking love the young X-Men cast. I would love to see them come back.
Me too. I think they will. I think we'll see them in Secret Wars. I think we're gonna see a ton of people in Secret Wars. But I think,
frankly, if your theory is true of like the alternate world shit, I think bringing James McAvoy in as that universe's Professor X,
that'd be cool.
Given other stuff, would just make sense and be cool.
Yeah,
I would love that.
I'd like it also if maybe there's a quick sequence where like fucking James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart kill each other. Like fucking Professor X off, they fight. Oh god, I just want to see some crazy shit in that movie. I think that movie both worries me and excites me. I think it's going to be fan service fucking out the wazoo. I just hope they can do it well.
Yeah.
I don't expect to see the X-Men before the end of Phase 6. But I mean, maybe the X-Men movie is the end of Phase 7. Like, we're not doing Avengers movies every phase, but that doesn't mean we can't have massive team-up movies finishing out phases. It just means it's not gonna be everybody every time, you know?
Yeah, like, you can still have a Civil War type situation where you have this massive crossover of heroes. Look at fucking Wakanda Forever with Namor and the Atlanteans. Fucking...
And Riri.
There's still potential for a lot of crossover. And Marvel is doing it between all of their shows, between all of the movies where you have random people showing up, like Doctor Strange being also a Wanda and an America Chavez movie was great.
Yeah.
And people need to temper their expectations in regards to Avengers movies, but you're still getting big multi-hero team-ups. It's just not labeled under the Avengers.
Yeah. People need to chill.
The fuck
yeah,
out.
I was trying to find a diplomatic way of saying it, but I like your way better. I think that it's kind of weird how people are super high on a lot of the Phase 4 projects until we get a couple months out, and then they're like, man, Marvel's been really mid lately. I'm like, you just were fucking raving about that movie. What do you mean? Like, I guess Eternals is really the only one where I feel like people hated it from the jump. And the rest, like, people, I don't know if people remember a year ago, had a pretty positive reaction to Black Widow. Everybody was like, that was better than I expected it to be. And now a year later, everybody's like, that movie was fucking garbage, dude. And I'm like, you liked it. What are you talking about? Like,
Wow, it sounds like somebody who watched What If said it was shit and then gaslit themselves into liking it.
But I went the opposite direction.
You went the opposite direction, but you still had a huge shift.
I did have a huge shift. Shit.
Tyler will keep that in because that is how he feels about it.
Yeah, no, I did have a huge shift on that. But I just think people are exaggerating a little bit is all. I think maybe people are getting caught up in the social media hype of shitting on Phase 4, and I'm like, you know what? I get it. I understand your pain. But also shut the fuck up, please. I empathize with you, but please stop talking. I'm kidding. Don't do whatever you want.
Think before you post is always a good philosophy to have. It is one that I live by. Use your brain before you hit send on that tweet where you call the latest Marvel movie that you liked 2 weeks ago shit.
Yeah. That. Anyways, I know this was long, but they did a lot.
Yeah, they announced a lot, so you get a meteor episode.
Yeah. Although I'm pretty sure most of our episodes are around this long anyways.
I think they're closer to like 120.
I think 120,
like
130.
But here we are.
You're right. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. I don't know the plugs for this show because I never do it. But
this is why we use Google and we Google MCUnhinged and we look in the description.
We are at MCUnhinged, at MCU, at MCUnhinged on Twitter. Use that one.
Yes. It will probably be in the description of this episode, so literally don't worry about it. We are on Anchor and we are on YouTube, so wherever you're listening to us, congratulations, you found us. If you want to share this podcast with your friends, word of mouth is a huge help. in things like this. So if you know somebody who's interested in the MCU, consider throwing this their way. And if they like it, then cool. They have a new podcast to listen to. That's always nice. Shawn, if you want to plug some of your socials, go ahead and do that.
You guys can just follow me on Twitter at Shawn_AFK. And everything I do is over there.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Shibuya, and I'm on Twitch at Shibuya. Also on YouTube. Basically everywhere. If you just look up Shibuya, that will be it. I need to double check Tyler's Twitch. But I know you can find him on Twitter at TylerIms. So if you're interested in that, he runs a couple other podcasts. I run a couple other podcasts. Shawn runs a couple other podcasts. Yeah. So if you're lacking in things to listen to, oh boy, do I have some news for you. Other than that, I'm pretty sure that's all the plugs.
I think that's everything. Don't worry, next time you guys will have a more normal episode. Tyler will be back when we talk about Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah, speaking of Avengers, it's the fucking Avengers, baby.
The first one.
Yeah, not the first Avenger, but the first Avengers.
No, we already did the first Avenger.
Yeah, we did the first Avenger. I will say nothing more about it. If you want to listen to our thoughts on it, go listen to the episode. What are you doing?
Yeah, I can't go through that again.
No.
We'll see you guys next time.
Have a good one.
Bye.
All right. On go, just clap.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
There.
Good luck.
All
Good
right.
luck, Tyler.
I'm trying to make it easy for you, Tyler.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Good luck. Okay. You want to intro it, or do you want me to?
I mean, we can both try it, and then Tyler can just pick whoever he thinks
All right,
did it
Tyler.
better.
All right, Tyler. We're gonna try our. I don't know. We're gonna try something, and you can pick.
We're gonna try.
We're giving you options. It's like you're the next director of the MCU movies.
It's a variety show because we're giving you the variety.
Yeah. All right. I'll give it a shot.
All right.
I count myself down because I need to hype myself up in 3,
Okay.
2, 1. Hello, welcome back to MCUnhinged. Wow, that's a weird word to say. I don't ever really say it. And Tyler always says it. I'm Shawn, joined as always by Shibuya. Hello, Shibuya.
What is up, Shawn?
Marvel might have gone to Comic-Con and announced a ton of stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, this isn't something I've ever heard of them doing.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's funny because everybody online was like, that's not going to happen. But normally we're just kind of here talking about the movies in order. But this week, a little special episode. Tyler, unfortunately, is not able to make it, but we can talk about the San Diego Comic-Con announcements.